Okay.
What's going on? How do we get on here? I'm trying to get on the internet to get the people informed about the virus. What's going on?
Now, what happened was we're trying to go around my house. We're trying to get routers where we need to get routers, and we're trying to get the 5G into children's heads. The problem is we didn't have 5G. People saying Dr. Jill Frankenstein was saying that 5G was making children sick. No, ma'am.
You know, 5G.
I would love to drop an eclair down your blazer, but you know the problem is the kids weren't used to the 5G. We've got to wake them up with the 5G.
5G. That was a gang. When I was a kid, the 5Gs were a gang, a bunch of colored fellas. They'd go down to give you a hard time at the mulch shop. The 5Gs they were.
A lot of people think the monster's name was Joe Biden, but it's actually it's Dr. Joe Biden was the guy who created the monster.
Yes.
I'm my husband, Dr. Joe Biden.
Yeah. Hello. Welcome to our quarantine stream, our hangout stream, coming to you this lovely Saturday. This is our first of, I think, probably many.
Oh, yeah.
Many streams.
Get ready.
Yeah.
I'm going to be streaming like a fucking guy with a prostate issue.
Yeah, welcome to the Fire Guys chat.
Well,
what's the problem?
So, yeah, we're going to be hanging out with you for the next couple hours. We're going to be talking shit, swap and spit. No, we won't be doing that.
None of that. We'll
We
be
will not
practicing
be doing
social
that.
distancing.
We'll
Yeah, look, we're far away from each other.
Yeah.
Yep. Three
Yeah,
different
get in the middle,
seats.
Matt.
Yeah,
If
not
you-
even on the same tables.
So, first and foremost, Felix, it's good to see you again. I know you've been
He's been
suffering
shitting
some,
out his doo-doo
some
ass.
health problems.
Yeah, I wish I had the Rona instead of what I had. I had some type of stomach virus. I thought I had diverticulitis.
It's called Judaism.
Yeah, well, that is ultimately the condition all of us suffer from. But I thought I had diverticulitis, which was the poop disease that Brock Lesnar got that took him out of MMA forever. But it was just some stomach virus.
I was such an idiot. I actually thought you got diagnosed with that when you said, I have it. It turns out it was just you assuming it.
Well, you know, I mean, you've never done that. You've never gone in the group
I
chat.
know.
You've never gone in the group chat and been like, I have some form of ocular cancer.
I usually say, I think I have it. I think I have it.
Sometimes you're sure and sometimes you're wrong. And sometimes they both happen.
Well, I'm just happy to be sitting over here with a nice cast iron Bavarian stomach.
Well, let me ask you guys. This is now week 1 of quarantine. You know, we're obviously in the studio. I walked over here today, observing strict protocol. I use latex gloves when I leave the house now. Try not to touch. That's more to just stop me from touching my face, which is my favorite thing to do.
Oh yeah.
If I'm indoors or outdoors,
This motherfucker loves touching his face.
I love touching my face. But you know. Washing my hands steadily if I leave the house. But for the most part, Catherine and I have just been indoors all week long. So I'm wondering, how are your guys' quarantine going? And what are your coping mechanisms that you're employing so far?
Well, I mean, I'm assuming for Felix, he's just like, what, quarantine? What's going on?
No, this is like, no, I mean, like, talk about a return to the golden age. 2003 through 2005, losing elections and being inside. Oh yeah, I've never been here before.
You've only adopted the darkness.
I'm Rorschach in the prison. Everyone's locked in here with me. This is my natural environment.
I was talking to my mom on the phone yesterday, and I said that I feel like I'm in a way strangely prepared for this because I spent most of my 20s, practicing at being inside an apartment all day long, not doing anything, talking to anyone or seeing anyone, and actively avoiding human contact. So to me, being alone with nothing to do is like nirvana. You know? And that's me at my happiest.
I gotta say, I feel like I got my fill of it, and I was kind of happy to be out of that phase of my life. So now I'm getting like a flashback. It's not cool.
Yeah, sometimes crack your spine and it releases a little bit of foul.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Leftovers at 3 a.m. No, I hate that the gym is closed everywhere. There are no gyms anywhere, but everyone makes sacrifices. Some more than others.
So I've we've been watching movies, watching a lot of movies. I'm back on Letterboxd. Follow me on Letterboxd for my. I'm
also on Letterboxd.
I'm logging. I know Matt is very good on Letterboxd. Adam and Matt have been like Letterboxd champions for a long time.
Yeah.
I follow you, Adam, and Catherine on Letterboxd.
Oh, I didn't know she was on there. I'll follow
she's
her
on.
too.
Follow Catherine on Letterboxd. Where I'm logging the movies. I'm logging all the movies.
I love logging the movies. You know what I watched the other night?
What?
This is somehow a movie that I had skipped. Kind of insane. It's the only gap in my my knowledge of the Michael Bay canon. The Island.
Oh, I've never
with
seen
Ewan
that one.
McGregor.
Never
Yeah,
seen it.
most
Never
people have
seen it.
missed that one. It was a flop. It really is like, I mean, of course, the one he has for Netflix is going to be the most forgotten because it didn't get a real release because therefore it's not a real movie. But the fucking Island came out in 2005. It was a big release, big summer release, and it never really caught on for some reason.
You know that movie is a remake of a movie they ripped on Mystery
Yeah.
Science Theater
Yeah.
3000.
Is it a remake or did they just rip it off?
They ripped it off a lot.
I think
of
they
it.
just
did
ripped off the Clonus
I
Horror.
think it's like
I thought it was a
the
full
Clonus
remake.
Horror. It was
Yes.
an MS-33K movie. The Clonus Horror. I don't know if it's technically a remake.
I think
but
it just ripped it off.
The rip-off is so complete that it might as well.
I think
be.
they got sued for it actually.
I remember, and like people criticized like the writing in it, but the point was that Scarlett Johansson and Ewan McGregor, that their characters were mentally like 14.
Yeah, they're like children.
Yeah.
They're 3 and 4 years old because they're clones who live in a clone, the secret underground clone facility where rich people pay to get their clones of themselves kept so that if they need an organ or something, they can take it from them. But they have to be alive for some reason. You have to have real living like vitality for your organ to translate. Some bullshit. So they tell them that they're survivors of a apocalyptic event and that eventually if they behave and like live in their little pod cubes and like eat what they want to tell them to eat, they'll go to the island, which is a pristine place where you can live normally. Turns out, no. That's when you go to get your organs taken.
So was it good?
It's decent. It's got some Bay humor. It's got a scene where 2 guys are in a bathroom and they are hugging or something, and somebody walks in and thinks they're gay, which is like the #1 Michael Bay joke.
Michael Bay loves
like,
that.
That's his favorite bit. I think that's been in like 4 of his movies. And Ewan McGregor's good. Scarlett Johansson's peak of hotness. It's got some Buscemi. Sean Bean is the bad guy. And it's got a really great set-piece action scene where an entire road worth of cars get just pulverized by these giant metal barbells. Check it out.
We watched The Killing of a Chinese Bookie last night.
Cassavetes.
Mr. Sophistication, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Sophistication.
I follow Elizabeth Warren on Letterboxd, and she thankfully blurred out the word before bookie on her review of it. Appreciate it, Queen.
I also watched. I'd never seen it before, and this is actually the best movie, or the movie I haven't seen yet that I've watched on quarantine. Ken Russell's Lair of the White Worm.
I've seen that.
It is.
That's a great movie.
Unbelievably horny and
yeah.
deranged. It is one of the horniest and most insane movies I've ever seen. But it was phenomenally funny and entertaining from start to finish. It's got very, very young Hugh Grant and Peter Capaldi being just really killing it in that movie.
Yeah.
And some of the one of the best dream sequences I've ever done in a movie, and some of the most insane, like, phantasmagoric, like, horror flashbacks of like Roman centurions raping Christian nuns in front of like a guy being crucifixed and consumed by a giant worm. It is
good old Ken Russell.
trippy as fuck. One of the horniest movies I've ever seen. It is available on Amazon Tribeca Shortlist right now. So that's my early movie reviews. I suspect we'll be talking more about them. But Catherine and I have been coping by. I've been cooking again. So silver lining to this is that it's forcing me to do things that I've exercise muscles that I've let atrophy for a long time right now. Just being lazy and ordering food or never doing dishes and shit like that. But I've been cooking again. I've been watching movies. I've been using my Criterion Channel subscription a lot. Normally, I haven't been doing that for a long time. So, if anything, sort of a blessing in disguise, you know. I got my Switch going again. I downloaded some new games. I downloaded the Animal Crossing game. I haven't played it yet, but I'm going to be playing Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'll figure out what that's all about, what everyone's talking about. I'm playing this game that they re-released for Switch called Deadly Premonition. It's basically like a really bootleg Japanese version of Twin Peaks. It's like a cross between early Resident Evil games and Twin Peaks. It's kind of janky, but like there's a charm to it. And then I also downloaded. There's the original Doom 2, like the Doom 2 like version. You can get that on Switch.
Yeah, we'll download the Columbine maps.
So anyway, so yeah, we're I'm coping pretty good so far, but we'll see what week 2 and 3 are like.
I've the first 3 days of quarantine, I had diarrhea approximately every 30 minutes.
Yeah, that sounded rough.
It felt like someone just put a single salt and vinegar chip up my asshole. That's what it felt like.
God.
If this is upsetting for you, I'm going to tell you what R. Bud Dwyer told people. You can leave the room now. You can leave now. That
Asshole
image is
looking like the
upsetting
Japanese
me.
flag.
Yeah, it was very upsetting. But then the worst part was when I couldn't shit for 4 days.
Ooh, that
and I
sucks.
couldn't eat either. But that's why I thought it was like something very serious. But I guess it was just like a stomach virus, and I'm fine now. So
That's good. Well,
but
it's good to see you again. It's been a while. Look,
It's been a while.
we haven't
I don't
seen
think
each
I've seen
other
each other
since the
since you
end
got
of
back
tour.
from the
Yeah.
West
Nope,
Coast.
nope,
Yeah,
nope.
no, I haven't seen you since you left. Yeah,
Yeah.
damn. Well, it's good to have you back. This is the original Dry Boys.
Yes, the holy triumvirate.
Let's just take a second again to acknowledge our amazing streaming studio. It looks beautiful.
This is beautiful.
And we have an awesome gaming PC here now. So
we have the e-girl lighting.
Well, we're gonna be doing some camming as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm considering starting an OnlyFans.
Get a wink at the pink.
I'm starting an Only Enemies.
Yeah.
That's where I watch them.
So. Like I said, I walked over here today. It's about a half an hour walk from my apartment, and I'm trying to both because I think I really needed to just get outside and get some sun and just get the blood flowing again, but also don't want to have to take lifts or whatever, or potentially expose myself or other people. So it's a good thing to do if you can walk someplace. And here's the thing. I was out today. It's a beautiful day, and a lot of people are out walking around, like walking dogs or just going for a stroll or doing something, which is not necessarily something I think is bad. I know we're seeing a lot of images from spring break or fucking morons going to a chili eating competition in the middle of this because they're yeah, I'm not worried. But I think we should be clear here, and again, I'm not a CDC expert. Being on lockdown or quarantine doesn't mean that you can never leave the house.
No, you'll go insane. Stop it.
Just go take your dog for a walk. Just walk around the block by
Just
yourself.
observe the distances.
Taking a walk alone rocks.
Taking a walk, just take a walk alone. Honestly, you will go insane if you never fucking leave the house. So
Yeah.
just Clorox wipe everything you touch. Use some hand sanitizer if you touch things. Don't touch your face. But it's okay to go outside.
It's okay.
By yourself or with one other person.
Make sure to dip your penis in rubbing alcohol before you jack off. That's an important part of it too.
And don't eat your cum when you're done.
Never.
I
That
know.
is
I
not
know.
sterile.
We all love doing that.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, just don't
we
be
have to
afraid
give
to
it
let
up.
it. You can waste some. You can waste some seed. It's okay. This is a panic. This is a catastrophe.
No one will sperm jack you now.
Yeah.
You won't get sperm jacked during the quarantine.
So yeah, I'm going. I'm having a little. We're having a little bit of quarantine madness, just a little bit, and Catherine and I are coping it by teaching ourselves the Les Mis soundtrack. I know, Felix. I've been sending you videos of this.
I've been witnessing their progress.
And on our next episode of Vanderpod, we've been practicing, and we are going to do the Javert Jean Valjean confrontation scene. We've been practicing it. It's hard to do because you have to sing over each other. But Catherine is going to do Javert, and I'm going to do Jean Valjean. And
Catherine, I can see Catherine having voice qualities very similar to what made Philip Quast such a perfect Javert.
I'm going to be Colm Wilkinson.
Yeah.
And she's going to be Quast. Because, Javert's kind of daddy.
Yeah, Javert's Javert kind of an Andrew Cuomo character.
Well, we'll talk about him in a second. So here's just a little preview for you guys. Okay, here we go. I am warning you, Javert. I'm a stronger man by far. There's strength still left in me. My race is not yet run. There we go.
No,
Pretty good.
that's
No, I like
fucking
it because
fire.
Jean Valjean, like he does Dr. Jill Biden stuff. He challenges Javert to a push-up competition instead of going to jail.
No, yeah, that's. I mean, ultimately, Javert's fate. That's what happens to everyone who challenges Joe Biden.
Yes, they throw themselves off a
Yeah,
bridge.
they feel bad. They feel bad for ever challenging him.
Yeah, yeah.
Joe Biden. If you piece together enough public appearances from the last 40 years, there's like probably some overlap between the life story of Jean Valjean and like stories he's told about himself.
No, wait. So when I was talking to you about this earlier in the week, I thought it's sort of contrarian, but if you line up the points, it's very uncanny.
Yeah.
Pete Buttigieg's life and career and Jean Valjean are very similar. Not because Pete Buttigieg is either very physically strong or morally or courageous and heroic.
Yeah, no heroism or
He
selflessness.
has no selflessness, no physical strength whatsoever. I would love to see Pete Buttigieg try to lift an ox cart off from some poor peasant.
No, yeah, no.
It would never happen. It would unless the
never.
ox cart was filled with heroin from at the fields of
Yeah,
Afghanistan.
no, he would go out of his
He
way
would
to
lift that
save the
off
heroin
cart,
for the
and then just-
company.
yeah, exactly. But you said, like Jean Valjean, Pete Buttigieg's career started by doing bread crimes.
Yes. They're totally different bread crimes. They're totally different, but
it
they're
was-
still bread crimes.
He was doing bread crimes, and then after doing bread crimes, he disappeared for a while, and then reemerged seemingly out of nowhere as the mayor of a small town.
Yes.
Weird. How'd that happen?
Yeah, no. So, but like Valjean becomes a mayor, and then you said he was a mayor and a factory owner. But Pete Buttigieg, instead of owning a factory, he ran a campaign where everyone hated each other. And Liz Smith was like Fontaine.
Yes.
Liz Smith is Fontaine, where she gets letters. And everyone's like, "Yo, where you get all this money from, Liz? That's kind of sus. That's weird, yo."
Everyone in that campaign was probably leaking against each other, like in the factory
Yes,
scene.
exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, Liz Smith is Fontaine, except she doesn't die. It's like Liz Smith is like Fontaine if she actually was allegedly turning tricks and giving money by Michael Bloomberg.
You're right. Yeah. When Michael Bloomberg, he's hard to fit into this universe.
He's basically whoever was ruling France at the time
Yeah,
of the student
yeah,
rebellion.
yeah.
That would have been, I believe, Charles the 12th.
But this was like the restored monarchy at that
Yes.
point.
Yeah.
right?
That was before. That was before the, or that was that after the August.
It's 1815 is the student
It's
rebellion.
1815. Is that what? Well, when is the thing at the end? Where
Fuck,
there's
I don't
is
know.
that 30?
I don't know.
Or I
Oh,
think
wait.
it's after the July monarchy.
Oh wait,
so
maybe
it would be
Les Mis begins in 1815 and ends in 1835. I think?
35. That's the. It ends with Louis Philippe, the July monarchy.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a little bit of a Les Mis history for you.
Yes. By the way, people are saying, "LOL, Biden has the Rona."
I think he does.
Either that. My other theory is that whatever they whatever they whacked him out with for the debate,
This
whatever
is good, yeah.
high test amphetamine.
It was Simone Sanders just had a palm full
steroid
of Adderall, and he was eating out of her hand like a bird.
It was some. They basically just overcranked his entire nervous system.
It was
to
like
get him
Crank
through
with
that 2
Jason
hours.
Statham.
Exactly, to get him through that 2 hours. And so now he's essentially crashed. His whole system has been overloaded and now crashed. And they're just slowly trying to build him up with like clear broth and electrolytes and like omega 3s. And it'll take at least a week to get him back after blowing all of his circuits.
Because the thing is, like, if we watched that debate, it was, Biden was awful, but it was one of the best debate performances he's ever given. I mean, he was really on point about lying and being very
That was
punchy.
amazing.
He had complete sentences, and he had a few moments where he was just like, okay, I'll stop now, Mac.
Yeah.
I thought he was in for a rough night because like he looked awful. He looked
bad.
Physically awful.
No, but he was cranked up.
And he the first question he did the thing he usually takes him till 9 o'clock to do, where he goes, I yield my time, Mac. Like when he runs out of words, but he when Bernie was really the one time where Bernie really pushed him. Biden gave a very forceful, "Oh, come on, man!"
Yeah,
and it was like, "Oh, he's got this."
So
in the
I
bag.
think, there are two things. I think Biden probably does have the Rona. I mean, we've seen him coughing a lot in public. Well, shit, the last time we saw him in public.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, but I like Matt's idea because, like, for sure, we've been joking, haha. Everything we joke about is 100% right. By the way,
true.
It's like there's nothing we can say as a joke. We're half kidding, but it always turns out to be
It's always true.
totally
100%
correct.
of the time.
I have a comment on that.
Yeah.
We got a kind of shout out from on this week's Pod Save.
Oh yeah.
The Thursday episode in which one of the hosts said, if you see somebody online saying that they're not going to vote for Joe Biden, someone of these rude online leftists, it's a bit. They're kidding.
No.
And then they went on to say that it is a small, that the vitriol and the people who are opposed to Biden are a small clique of leftist Twitter assholes who have podcasts.
I wonder who they could be talking about.
Yeah, I wonder who they were talking about.
Yeah, no, I mean, my message to the Pod Johns is, you're right. It is just a joke. So you know what? So don't worry about it. Don't canvass for Joe Biden. Don't phone bank.
Just let that name recognition do its job.
No, my message.
Well, he's in the bunker.
My message for the Pod Johns. Demonstrate your trust for Joe Biden by getting into a car that he's driving with. Demonstrate your trust.
Show them just how confident you are in his ability to do the job.
Let Joe Biden drive you to the store.
So here's the thing. Like we were talking about before we got on stream. It is incredible that Joe Biden has been completely MIA for the last 4 days now, in the midst of what I think, Matt is, I think, right about this, the biggest crisis this country has faced since World War II.
By not even close. Nothing's comparable.
And like I know,
I don't know. There was like the Beanie Baby thing in the mid-90s.
The Beanie Baby market crash.
That was a huge deal.
That was a pretty big deal. I remember that.
Huge deal.
Oh God, when new Coke came out and everyone hated it.
Oh, the steroids in baseball. That was
that was a huge deal.
When everyone's innocence.
Oh, remember violence on television and the need to have a V chip.
So, but consider this. Joe Biden, now the presumptive leader of the Democratic Party, the presumptive presidential nominee, has not been seen or heard from basically at all since the web stream he tried to do, where he did about 4 minutes and looked like a fucking, just like a frog that you shine a flashlight on in the middle of the night. Like you go outside to the swamp and you just hit it with a big, like a light, and he just ribbits and just looks at you.
This is my bog, Mac. Get out of here.
I mean, he was bewildered, and like Dr. Joe Biden had to like sort of.
She had to lead him out, and he thanked her. And he said, Thank you for saving me from this abyss of confusion.
So I thought I died again.
So here's the thing. Yeah. So here's the thing. I think Matt is correct that whatever like extremely like Chinese research chemicals that they gave him to like keep him on point for 2 hours during that Democratic debate, it's like, look, there's a cost to it. If I do coke for 3 nights straight for like the next 2 days, I'm gonna be pretty fucking like strung out. You know, like it's gonna be hard to like be out and about or like form sentences.
They overwhelmed all the.
So like I think he burned through a lot of his fucking like synapses in that 2 hours, and then like his health bar is very low right now,
incredibly low.
But here's the thing though. Again, like try to just actually contextualize how fucking weird and also like what insane political malpractice it is to have the presumptive Democratic nominee in the midst of a crisis of this magnitude just be completely fucking missing at a time when Trump is kind of setting the agenda for, I mean, as bad as it is.
Folks, it's going to be great. We're going to get everybody a check. We're going to get the coin.
So, but here's where I'm going with
Rashida
Tlaib.
Tlaib is a genius because like her bill is great, but it's also she knows exactly how Trump thinks.
Oh, the coin! It's going to be a tremendous coin.
Okay, wait. Who said today in the Discord?
It's going to be so heavy.
Who said today in our
so
chat?
Fucking smart,
Who said today in our chat? Because you're right. A $1 trillion coin. If him being photographed next to that, he would love it so much.
It overtakes everything.
It's the biggest ever. It's the biggest. It's the biggest piece of currency ever printed.
He would do like Naked Gun shit and like drop it with all his other change and have it get lost or something or fall down a sewer grate or something.
Coin.
But who said
they have
today,
to make it bigger. They have to make it like the size of a frisbee, so he doesn't lose it.
It has to be like a novelty-sized coin, like one of
Yeah.
those novelty checks. It'll be like the size of a dinner plate.
Yeah,
And who
like the
suggested
Yap
today-
Islander discs.
Who suggested today that the coin should be diamond on one side and silk on the other?
Very true. Very true. Yes.
That is beautiful. It needs to happen.
Yep.
Let's mint the coin.
Mint the coin.
Felix,
Mint the $1 trillion coin.
so the last episode we did, we watched episode 3 and 4 of the Hillary documentary. And at the very end of it, they talk about like Hillary rising like a phoenix from her world historic defeat in the 2016 election.
That's what you
it was
know.
Paul Begala was saying. He's like, all these people just got energized and engaged in politics in the most Hillary way possible, which means he means like the pussy hat marches and like the most ineffectual horseshit ever. But they show a montage of like all of the good things that Hillary has sparked by and inspired by women getting into politics, and they showed Rashida Tlaib being elected. How fucking funny is that?
That's so good.
That is so good.
That was because of me.
Yeah.
Maybe the member of Congress that hates her the most.
Yes.
Like
A week-long media controversy
Yeah.
about her booing her on stage.
Yeah.
That's incredible. But here's where I'm going with all this. So at the height of, again, an unprecedented national crisis, Joe Biden is completely fucking absent.
He's gone.
And here's two things about this. One, it is proof positive beyond any shadow of a doubt that the Democratic Party's only concern in this entire primary was defeating Bernie Sanders.
Yep.
And they had no fucking idea or plan whatsoever for the general election. Now that Joe Biden's done his job, honestly, he's going to go away.
He is going to go
He's
away,
going
folks.
to go
It's going
away.
to happen like we said,
Matt
probably
is-
at the convention, and probably Andrew Cuomo now.
Yeah, okay, Matt has been on this tip, and like honestly, as soon as you said it, I'm like, holy shit, this makes perfect fucking sense. Joe Biden at the convention is going to bow out
Yep.
for health reasons or for the good of the country. He is not going to be the guy in November. And they're going to do, I swear to God, I think it's going to be Andrew Cuomo.
Yep.
Because of this coronavirus shit. The thing is, the Democrats, their only plan, the only thing they cared about accomplishing was just stopping Bernie Sanders.
Yes.
And they marshaled the entire force of the party, the media, and all their billionaire donors to do exactly that.
Yep.
And it worked. Okay?
Kudos.
Good job, everybody. Now, of course, as you said, the buyer's remorse is setting, and you can, this is like anecdotal, but my gauge of this is, of course, people on Twitter who are mad at me whenever I say, "Good luck with Joe Biden." I'm not going to fucking vote for him.
Right? Yeah.
That's how I think about that. And then they all just get really angry at me and shit like that. And I'm like, well, why are you so anxious, buddy? You got what you
You
wanted.
won.
I
You got
thought he's gonna win independence, right?
Yeah,
You
right.
won.
Like, you got what you
CHU.
wanted. Like you got the safe electable
Yeah.
candidate, right? You defeated the awful Bernie Bros and
So
all
you
that.
got-
and also,
this is all locked down
and as
now.
it was going on, they love to remind us. All it proved was that they don't need our votes.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, it worked out splendidly for you.
Stop yelling
so
at
why are you
us.
so fucking angry at me?
Yeah.
It shouldn't matter to you whether I vote for Joe
This
Biden.
sounds all this shit you're worried about him. That sounds like a YP, not an MP.
But no, even if it is like they're betraying their own fucking fear and anxiety. Now that they've got what they wanted, they're
Yep.
like, oh shit.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do?
Ah, shit.
Yeah. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Oh fuck.
It's
So
all
here's
just
the thing.
sowing. Fuck yeah.
I think
Reaping. Damn it.
I think they realize that, and now with this global pandemic and the ensuing economic collapse that's sure to follow it, that's going on right now. By the way, just last week, more unemployment claims were filed than at any time in American history
Oh,
in
that's
a
not
1 week
good.
period.
I'm just gonna say it right now.
2.5 million unemployment
That's a bad
claims
indicator of
filed.
things.
At the height of the 2008 economic crash, it was 650,000 in 1 week. It was 2.5 million last week. Yikes! Right? So these are the circumstances under which it is favorable to unseat an incumbent president.
Oh yeah.
So now that they realize that, they know, people in the party know that Joe Biden is not up to this.
No.
They know the people who are around him, who are in rooms with him, who have talked to him.
Barack Obama tried to talk him out of it like 5 times.
They
before
know
they
that
cynically
he's
decided
not
to
all
go
there.
with
They
him.
know that he does not. He cannot even get it together to do like an hour fucking web stream.
An hour is way too long.
The last time he talked in public, it was for 7 minutes. So they got what they wanted. They're going to swap him out, and it's the coronavirus shit. I keep seeing all this stuff about how brilliantly Andrew Cuomo is handling this, and that he is the leadership we need now. It's going to be him and Kamala Harris, or hope against all hopes. I pray every single day that they just get Hillary Clinton in there.
That would
so
rock.
That they just get Chill
That
Dog
would
back in
rock.
there, and they just do a reset. We're going to do 2016 again.
Wait a minute. All right. Yes, a lot of the media all of a sudden is talking about how great Andrew Cuomo is doing, but surely those are just people making independent observations. I mean, there's no way that the media, certainly the media friendly with the Democratic Party, ever coordinates on messaging in a way indicating what the party wants. That would be absurd.
Yeah, no, that's conspiracy thinking, Matt.
Wacky,
That's
wacky.
wacky,
Cuckoo.
wacky conspiracy stuff.
So yeah, no. If you see Cuomo out there, it's because people in the DNC are telling people to do that. Because they need to pump him up big because he can't go in there without like some significant name recognition. And if he becomes the face of the corona response for the Democrats, that'll work.
Yeah, no, I mean it's perfect for them because like, as we've, I think we've established by now, this coronavirus shit is going to be the issue from
No
now
other
until another
issue.
6 fucking months probably.
Yep.
There's not going to be. This is going to suck the oxygen out of every
It
other
might
issue.
it might even get old right wingers to stop talking about Colin Kaepernick. It might, folks. It might actually get them to not even care about kneeling for the flag at football games.
So that's going to be it. So yeah, do not be shocked if they do a switcheroo with Joe Biden at the convention, because here's the thing: Joe Biden did his job.
Yeah.
He did his job, which was consolidating the party against Bernie Sanders.
His base of support, the fact that he was able to, just by virtue of being like the closest thing to Obama, hold on to that Obama loyalty from the older black voters in South Carolina, that was it. Because no one else could get them, and no one else could consolidate the other parts of the Democratic coalition. And then when South Carolina showed that Biden could get them, then all they needed to do was got all the rest of them to resign at once, and then that would consolidate the white suburbia around them.
And here's the thing, though. If you don't believe that this was all an op, that the entire fucking point of all of this was only ever to defeat Bernie Sanders. That's the only thing the Democratic Party cared about at all in this presidential election. Then consider if this was a normal election, or if Bernie Sanders was not in the race, or a candidate like him was not there, who was, basically the front runner for like a couple months there, or looking very, very strong.
Yes.
Very strong. Under normal circumstances, is there any fucking way that Klobuchar and Buttigieg would have dropped out?
No.
They had every fucking reason to stay in the race.
No.
Every fucking reason.
Because
they had
Biden was
outperformed Joe Biden.
Biden was looking so fucking weak.
Up until South Carolina,
Yeah,
yes.
and
But
it was
even
like,
after that, they would have stayed
Because I think
in.
what they were thinking is that they could they thought that if Biden is collapsing, that means Biden's base is abandoning him, which means they're up for grabs. I don't need all of them. I need a chunk. What South Carolina showed is that the Biden base, the black, older Biden base, was not going anywhere, even with him in free fall everywhere else. And so that made that, plus Obama giving him a call and saying how you want to be Secretary of State or whatever, reset the boundaries for everything.
So, and here's the other thing. As we've talked about many times before in the show, it's not just that Klobuchar and Buttigieg dropped out at the exact same time and endorsed him along with Beto and Booker and all the other losers. It's that Warren stayed in. And there's some interesting news out today about how Warren stayed in. And they finally, because of like the date had passed where they finally could release the names of the people behind the Persist PAC. And by names, I mean name. And it turns out it's just one Silicon Valley divorcee who's this girl boss ghoul who gave Elizabeth Warren $14 million to keep her in through Super Tuesday. And the fact that she stayed in when everyone else dropped out shows you what the fucking con was here. And it worked. It fucking worked. Here's the thing. This woman who gave to Elizabeth Warren also gave money to Joe Arpaio.
Maxed out to Joe
Maxed
Arpaio.
out
I
to
do
Joe
think
Arpaio.
the contribution to Joe Arpaio, not that this makes it any better. I think it was this sort of liberal idiocy where, similar to the Pied Piper strategy in 2016, let's make sure that the worst candidate in the Republican primary wins. And, well, you see who's still president.
Maybe. I don't know, man.
Well, what do you think? Do you think she... I mean, maybe she just likes Joe Arpaio. I don't know the woman.
Maybe Democrats actually don't want to abolish ICE.
I mean, it is her only contribution to Republican. Again, this doesn't make it any
You're
better.
right. It
I
could
think
very
just,
well be.
I think this is
In
just
which
like
case, she's
liberal
just
idiocy.
the dumbest person on earth.
Exactly, yeah.
And it's like, I sure want the dumbest person on earth to be able to put a $14 million fucking thumb on the scale during a fucking primary.
Okay, following up on this, it also came out today that Reid Hoffman gave Jill Biden $4 million to run negative ads against Bernie up until Super Tuesday. Where have I heard that name before?
Wait a minute. You mean the guy who is involved in the creation of the Shadow acronym app that fucked the dog in the Iowa caucus?
And
also...
he's Epsteined up to his
Epsteined up
fucking
right.
gills.
Yeah.
The founder of LinkedIn. He's all in that same network of money and pedophile para-power. So there you go. So as I said today,
I gotta go for 1 second.
who would do literally anything to stop Bernie Sanders from becoming president? Well, the answer is billionaire alleged pedophile cannibals and Elizabeth Warren. That's it. There you go.
Well, anyway, good luck to everyone. Good luck to Dr. Joe Biden. Good luck to Dr. Joe Biden, whether they decommission him, send him into deep space, sleeping in his pouch.
Don't touch my bong unless you're packing it this Christmas season. Don't touch my bong. Do not ask me why, you know the reason. Don't touch my bong unless you're packing it this Christmas season. Don't touch my bong. Don't touch my bong. Yeah. I know that this is the season in which we should give, but as you probably noticed, I don't give a shit. You walk up to me when I'm smoking on a blunt.
The other thing is,
You're all like, hey there bro, yo, can I take a puff? I kindly ask, do you have any ins? He tells me no, and still he persists. You do not know me yet, you wanna smoke my weed. Well, you can blow me, cause that costs me good money. Don't touch my bong unless you're packing it this Christmas season. Don't touch my bong. Do not ask me why, you know the reason. Don't touch my bong unless you're packing it this Christmas season. Don't touch my bong. Don't touch my bong, yeah. It's time to smoke, so I'm packing a bowl. You come through the tote, then you gotta go.
Good. Just vibe out to this. Come on.
You know I've got weed, so you act like my homie. You only come around when the grass seems real green. Christmas is here, so I'm spreading the cheer. Inhale the smoke, exhale in the air. I'm with my people smoking on this Christmas tree. You wanna get real high, then come and visit me. Don't touch my bong unless you're packing it this Christmas season. Don't touch my bong. Do not.
Oh God. All right. Nobody play that fucking clip again.
I mean, they're just gonna do it.
They're just gonna do it.
They're just gonna fucking
Yeah,
do it.
you can't tell people not to do something.
Yeah, yeah. Where did you find that command thing?
Sound mixer options.
I don't know how to use a window. You go in, back in.
Okay, I mean, I don't know how it's like doing this without the fucking browser source.
Yeah.
Thing. I mean,
Here, let's turn. Here, I think we need to turn the OBS down to like 70%. Yeah, I think. Okay. Can we hear? Can we hear? All right. Hopefully, don't bomb the stream.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's do our best. Okay. The next thing I was hoping you guys could explain to me is
Where
this,
babies come from?
that a little bit later. We'll be demonstrating that in a little bit.
Oh, snap.
The Senate insider trading
Oh,
debacle that's going on right
yeah.
now, which is kind of fucking amazing. Like this
Pretty
is shit.
hilarious.
This is shit. Like in it, you know, if this were France or something, like people would burn down the Senate for
yeah,
shit
yeah.
like this.
No, and these guys will get reelected.
like
It's
literally,
amazing.
like profiteering in the middle of like a
and not just
pandemic.
profiteering. The important, the thing people keep pointing out is that at the time that these guys got this, this
This
briefing,
is in January.
that clearly scared them enough that they dumped millions of dollars of stock. And in the case of the MILF senator from Georgia, the wife of the fucking president of the New York Stock Exchange also bought stock in a teleconferencing company. That is evincing very specific information, not just like generalized whether the market's going to go down or not. Why it's going to go down. I said everyone's going to have to stay fucking home. So they did this after having this meeting. But then for the next month, they were
told
out there
everyone
in
that,
lockstep with Trump saying, this is all a hoax by the Democrats, and it's not a big deal, and we're taking care of it, and not worry about it.
I mean, that's basically like murder.
It's murder.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty much
Cartoonish.
murder.
It's like what fucking Harry Lime did during the World War II in The Third Man.
Gave
you know, like
penicillin.
the fake penicillin with the blind kids and shit. Or like the dad in All My Sons, the fucking Arthur Miller play. 21 Pilots, by the way. You ever wonder what that refers to? Those are the guys who died in World War II because of the crooked arms.
I reached out to
the munitions guy.
It helped me out a lot. He just said,
All Our Sons.
fuck all the haters, man. You winning. We winning.
Loeffler already has $500 million.
Yeah,
That's
she's
like
the richest senator,
The most insane
which is
shit.
saying something because those guys are caked up.
Yeah.
And she's sort of a MILF that's married married to the president of
She's
the New
like
York
a blonde
Stock Exchange.
version of Jesse Gemstone's wife.
And by the way,
she's kind of. I mean,
Even
I
with-
think she was led astray, and I could save her.
but even without this insider trading shit, isn't it a little weird that she's married to the president of the New York Stock Exchange?
What? There are
I
no
guess,
rules.
like, yeah,
Come on,
I mean-
man. I mean, like, think about it this
no
way.
one
Think
one
about
in
it this
America
way.
is going to
For
give
a
a
long
shit about
time,
that.
there was a real problem with the question of insider trading in with members of Congress because they get a lot of information by definition. What are you going to do? Now, the reasonable answer would be make it illegal for them to own stock. What I mean, is that too much of a sacrifice to be a member of Congress or a senator? It's a pretty high status job.
Or they have to put it in
able to,
stuff they already
Oh,
own.
sorry, you got to have T-bills. Oh, geez, what a fucking burden.
Well, couldn't
and
they put like everything they already own in like a blind trust?
something
or
like that, but
Yeah,
they don't
yeah,
have to. Instead, what they did is they just decided to ignore it, and then they passed something called the Stock Act in 2012 that's supposed to make this illegal, but it's got a ton of
that
fucking
Richard Burr
loopholes.
voted against. He was
did,
one of
which
two
is
three
very funny.
senators to vote against it.
But it's also got a lot of loopholes, and I don't think it's ever going to be enforced. So these
Yeah.
people, as much as you love the idea of them going to jail, they're probably not even going to lose their seats.
That's funny.
No, I mean, everyone makes mistakes.
The
We're
thing
all on
that's just
God's
been
path.
killing me is just like these people in the government here are going to be responsible for the deaths of probably hundreds of thousands of people.
Oh yeah, at least.
Like Trump's Trump's specific decisions to try to just go with like shutting it off at the border, and then most importantly, not testing people on purpose because he wanted to keep the number down because he didn't want to spook the economy, and then lying about the number, not letting states test, refusing the WHO test that they could have had already, which is why now we don't have any. I mean, and then even doing it after you know how bad it is and how much it spread, even though testing was the only way that you could pinpoint quarantining in a way that would have made it effective. That is mass murder. He is going to go down as one of the butchers of history here, realistically. And what's really horrifying is that there's not even ever going to be a fucking trial. He's probably not even going to lose election over it. He's probably going to get elected because of his effective way of fighting it, the way people decide, oh yeah, we're all fucking burrowed in hutches like fucking rabbits, but if it wasn't for Trump, we'd all be eating each other. And then he'll fucking get another fucking term. And he won't even get sick either.
I mean,
That is I think like the interesting thing I've seen this week is already, I mean, one side, buyer's remorse over Biden, but the other thing,
the opposite of that with Trump.
No, the crying by the liberal media about how the regular media is already playing this. How the regular media, they could not be more fucking thrilled.
Oh yeah.
To love Trump.
Yeah.
They've been waiting for this moment. They've been waiting for the moment that he took command.
Well, actually, the worse this crisis gets, the more the media will have an incentive to treat Trump like a serious president.
Yeah.
Because they can't countenance, like the media, whether it's liberal or conservative, is about creating a kind of consensual reality for the public.
Yeah.
And like the worse a crisis gets, they cannot countenance the idea that the president of the United States is completely out to lunch and basically either doesn't know enough or care enough to do anything competently.
Right. No, you will not see that on CNN. But
which why I think if he leaves office, it's not going to be because of an election. It's going to be because of a coup.
Right.
Which I don't. That's not a non-zero possibility at this point.
That is the subtext of this entire week has been the liberal media unprepared for how the regular media will treat this election, especially if it's Biden. If they keep Biden, holy shit. They're going to start tearing into Hunter, and they're
Oh
going to
my
start
God, they're
tearing
gonna
into
eviscerate him.
everything.
They're
gonna fucking rip that family.
If people think
into
that we're
shreds.
mean to him because
Yeah.
of calling out that he's like completely has dementia and can't form a sentence, as soon as it flips over at post convention, the media are
It's
going
done.
to destroy him and his family.
Yeah. No, the thing that will reach undecided voters this election and reach independent voters, the ones that, Joe Biden supposedly had some incredible sway over, it will be the regular media telling them that Trump is doing a spectacular job and that, Joe Biden's family is corrupt. And they'll fucking cry and say it's not fair. Why didn't they talk about it in the primary? Why were they on our side in the primary? Like it didn't fucking happen last time. Like it doesn't happen every time.
Well, like you pointed this out, Felix. As soon as your campaign strategy or the shit you're talking about is whining about how the media is unfair, you're already lost.
I think
You've
that's
already lost.
and I think that's true of this side too. Like, I think there at a certain point you have to stop, making a point of how unfair and how shitty the media is. Because there's a billion examples. You'll exhaust yourself talking about all of them. And it makes you seem like a fucking loser, even if it's true. You have to figure out how you get around that, whether it's making people implicitly mistrust and despise journalists or, whatever, creating alternative forms. There are a billion different things to figure out. It's not easy, but it's actually a way forward. No one's going to fucking stay and listen to you if all you talk about is how unfair everything is. Yeah. The only guy that works for is Trump. Because like the people he appeals to are also like more or less the same thing, like old, soft, like crybabies who like think the deck is sort of like stacked against them. But for the people that you need to get, just fucking whining about it isn't going to work.
Yeah,
that doesn't appeal to anyone.
What do you think? Should we take some questions from the chat?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Oh wait, I just want to drop just a few more bars real quick. You must think me mad. Men like you can never change. Men that are like you. Listen to me, prisoner 24601. I was born in a jail with scum like you. I am from the gutter too. Honestly, Les Mis just goes so hard.
It's so fucking
It's fucking
good.
great.
It's
like
so
it's
good.
basically the only musical I like.
It's the
it's the only one I care
whenever
about.
people are like, "Oh, you're into musical theater," it's like, no,
just
only
Les Mis.
one.
It's
the best one.
It fucking just every. I'm listening to the 10th anniversary Dreamcast.
That's
Catherine
the
and I
best
watched the YouTube, the 2.5 hours of it. It's fucking great. Especially the first hour. Every song,
Strongest hour.
bang after banger after banger
Who
after
am I?
banger.
Who am I? Valjean's soliloquy.
At the end of the day,
Yeah.
Lovely Ladies, Master of the House, Confrontation, of course, Dream to Dream. I mean, if you want to get
Dream
some
to
tears,
Dream
you want to
is
get some,
fucking
some
beautiful.
waterworks going. Just cue up that, and then just at the end, the choral reprise of "Do You Hear the People Sing." I mean, that's good, inspiring music that we need right now.
No, yeah, you shouldn't be. Most of the people watching this, they're listening to music by like 19-year-old British guys who like gave themselves a horseshoe balding pattern on purpose, who wear white contacts, and their names are like female condom but misspelled.
the O is a 0.
Yeah. That's who you guys listen to, and you're like, oh, why do I feel so bad all the time? Well, I mean, there are other reasons, like political reasons, economic reasons, but I'm gonna blame you for listening to Female Condom, the British rapper that you love. You should listen to something inspiring, like Les Miserables, 10th anniversary cast.
The Miserables.
The Miserables, yeah. The original emo rap.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Let's take some questions from the chat. Please, good questions. Don't ask us.
Don't ask us garbage.
Don't ask us. What do we do? What's going to happen with the virus, or how do I? Just
I don't know.
How do we save society?
How the fuck do we know?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not an epidemiologist.
Yeah.
All
Like I
I'll
said,
say
like,
is this.
Give you my best advice is try to stay in as much as you can. But you can't stay in all the time. And if you go out, like just take precautions of. Like I said, I've been wearing latex gloves. If you don't have those, just keep your hands in your pockets. If you touch shit, just don't touch your face until you wash your hands or use hand sanitizer. I mean, what are you going to do?
I think there might be a coup, guys. That's the one thing
there might be a coup. Well, look,
we might have a coup.
Look, I mean, like shit is like it's still functioning now. Like supply lines are still going good.
Right.
Like the economy hasn't completely collapsed.
I'm just
but if it gets to the point where like
crisis scenarios,
if it gets to the point
he's
where
going to be too much of an obstacle.
If Trump's incompetence really starts fucking with shit, like I think Matt, I think you could say General Raisin Cane just coming on TV and being like, "I am the state. The military is control of everything now."
And
like
all the Q people will be like, "Thank God, finally, I was right." And I'll be like, "God damn it!"
No,
owned.
except the Q people will root for it though.
They'll be like, "I
it.
was right," and I will say, "Owned." I will agree. I will say, "Q people, you got me. You're waiting and predicting for this military coup, and now you got it. Congratulations."
No, but the Q people, like, they're terrified of the deep state, and they're like, "Oh, they're plotting to take down Trump." But like, these people are dogs, and as soon as they see a general on TV telling them what to do, they'll line up to fucking lap it up.
All they got to see is the scrambled eggs on the hat, and they're fucking set.
All right. Okay. Cool or not? Chris, let's get any questions going.
Yeah. I will start. Did any of you guys have a chance to read the kind of Bernie campaign piece in the New York Times today?
No, I didn't. I heard it was dog shit, though.
I'm sure it was dog shit, but one of the
we can read that on the next episode.
Yeah, one of the things I pointed out was kind of underscoring Bernie's refusal to go hard negative about any people. I mean, I guess like the question is, could Bernie have gone harder, or what do you think was the failings of the Bernie campaign?
I'll start with this one. Could Bernie have gone harder? Abso-fucking-lutely, he could have gone harder. Would that have helped or made a difference? I don't fucking know.
Absolutely.
I have no idea.
There's no way of knowing. Anyone who claims they know is just operating out of emotion.
And we're at a point now where, like, look, it didn't work, so anything that he could have done differently, you can say it would have been different.
Yeah.
It might have been, it might have not. But, yes, he could have gone a lot harder on everything and everyone. Certainly Joe Biden, when it came down to just the two of them. He couldn't even call him a liar in the fucking debate.
But just because it would have been more satisfying to us doesn't necessarily mean it would have been more effective. Bernie had a basic messaging issue in that he could not overcome essentially the programming of enough regular Democratic voters, and he could not reach out effectively to enough non-voters. Those were the two obstacles. And I don't think him going harder against his opponents necessarily solves either of them. Certainly not the Democratic voters ones, because they feel protective of the party. They see him as an interloper because they've been trained to. Getting through that is very difficult. That's why his real need was to get independents and people who don't regularly vote in Democratic primaries. And there's a social networking there that has been severed. There's nerve endings that are just too long dormant.
Atrophied.
Yeah. And we found that out.
But
and I don't know if him being more like hollering and like hitting your Q zone with owns would have done anything about that.
Right. And you can, I mean, usually in such a big field, like starting off incredibly aggressive, incredibly negative.
That actually doesn't work.
That doesn't really work in a crowded field. It worked for Trump, but Trump is a very specific type of candidate that Bernie was not.
Figure.
Yeah, you can't really make the comparison. I do think in retrospect, maybe the campaign, maybe media operations, regular campaign comms people, like maybe, I don't know. In some places could have been allowed to go harder on Biden, go harder on other things. But again, I don't know how much of a difference it would have made. The problem is, getting Sanders over the hill of the Democratic electorate. It's not an electorate that hates him. It's an electorate that in some parts thinks he wouldn't be the most electable candidate. Or, as Matt said, for some reason really loves the Democratic Party.
No, that's the thing is like if you're talking about the Democratic primary electorate, like not like the insane Twitter people who and the leadership of the party who absolutely despise Bernie Sanders. Like I'm talking the leadership of the party, the media, the donor class despise Bernie Sanders and view him correctly as an existential threat to their jobs and tax rate or whatever. The average Democratic voter does not hate Bernie Sanders.
Right.
In fact, they agree with most of the things he says, but the crucial difference is they don't hate the Democratic Party.
Yep.
And they don't like seeing it run down or attacked.
And they think
because they connect that in their mind to the Republicans and the right.
Yes.
And to attack Democratic parties or liberals in general, that's what dead people do. That's what the Republicans do.
Yes. And the problem, and that makes it very hard for Bernie to be negative and without alienating these people critically. And look at the number of people who voted in these most recent primaries, the jihadists who went to their deaths to vote for Biden. They were also in exit polls overwhelmingly in favor of Medicare for all. Now, one of either two things happened. One, they know that Bernie is giving Medicare for all and Biden doesn't want Medicare for all, but they just put that at a lower priority than beating Trump, and they've been brainwashed to believing that only Biden beats Trump. That could be, and I bet for a lot of people it was. But for another group of people, what could very well have happened is that because they like Medicare for all, and because they also like the Democrats, they assume that the Democrats, no matter who they vote for, are going to pursue Medicare for all. And so then it's a question of who's got the most experience, who's the wiliest and most effective at getting things done. And Biden had that effective by being the VP of Obama, the connection with the Obama administration. He could pitch himself as the guy who gets things done, which in their minds also includes Medicare for all because it's a good thing and Democrats are good. Either way, it means that that weapon of Medicare for all, it will be one of the most potent in Bernie's arsenal, was ineffective. It bounced off the armor. So it wasn't enough. And there just weren't enough people in a short enough time frame who could be convinced that voting wasn't a waste of time. And honestly, I blame for that more than anyone one Barack Hussein Obama. One Barf-Sacco Crumbo.
Yeah.
Because Barf-Sacco Crumbo's 2008 election essentially destroyed the last chance we would see of people believing that voting could make a difference. And as much as we all know that Bernie's different, we also have to give people a context for why they should, which they're not going to sit still for. They're gonna, let me tell you about Bernie's career. And you're going to talk about him being in Burlington and whatever the fuck and like all the stuff he slipped into bills over the years. He's still a politician. He's still a guy behind a podium. He's still a bullshitter. Like everybody else they've ever fucking heard, and especially like that piece of fucking shit, Mr. Hopi Change, fucking Barf-Sacco Crumbo, that fucking Lyle Lanley-ass fucking snake oil salesman piece of shit. The fucking greatest villain of the 21st century.
Hillary's44.com was right all along. Bakwago Bomular, as they called him.
All right.
I'm going to answer one myself real quick. Somebody keeps asking about Henry Zebrowski, who just went on Pod Damn America, if he would ever come on Chapo to talk conspiracy theories. This is something I very specifically discussed with Matt, and we want it to happen. I've talked to Travis, the producer of Last Podcast on the Left. It's just a matter of timing and will. Tweet at Henry Zebrowski. Say, go on Chapo. Let's get him on the show.
Who's this guy?
He's
a podcaster.
They talk about conspiracy theories a lot on their show, and I
he's
really
also on a number of Adult Swim programs.
Yeah, I think that Matt and him could have a really good combo about conspiracies. I want to make that happen. So just because you brought it up, let's get Henry on stream. Okay. I'll go back to a real question now, and also that person who keeps asking, you can stop asking it in the chat. What was the next one? Okay, so let's say they do the Biden switcheroo in the convention and put Cuomo or Hillary or Michelle Obama or whomever in there. Is there any kind of actual response that would have any kind of real world effect that we or Bernie or any kind of institutional progressive figure, progressive or leftist figure?
I'll try to tee this one off to start. If you're thinking about any of the machinations of the Democratic Party right now, if you want to like what would have an effect, what power do you have to move the needle? The answer for me is very simple: not voting, or not voting for them. Just like removing your consent from their authority, and showing that you are willing to lose an election rather than vote for whatever shithead that they fucking foist upon you.
Yeah, I would say best case scenario, he won't do it for a number of reasons, personal and political. But I honestly feel like the best case, if they steal it, if it's Biden or they switch or whatever it is, it's an illegitimate election, an illegitimate selection. You know, there's no reason we can't Juan Guaidó this thing. I would say Bernie should run third party. I know that could be difficult. I know one of the problems is sore loser laws. But I'd say in an ideal situation, I would want Bernie to run hard as a third party candidate. Because honestly, there's a non-zero chance he could win, depending how things shake out. And even if he doesn't, there is an even better chance that they could finish second.
Yeah.
And if that happens, you are hastening the Whigification of the Democratic Party, which necessary,
you
but
can't
also
say that word anymore.
very, very, very hard. I think some people, maybe even myself in the past, have underestimated the resiliency of the Democratic Party. They do not mind retreating. They do not mind getting small. They do not mind becoming a permanent minority party as long as they maintain internal coherence and as long as they maintain the structure a power structure within it where the people who currently run it maintain power.
No, it's
so
like,
it's going to be very hard to fucking knock them off.
I mean,
especially considering the way that there's a two-party bias within the structure of our voting system, and also just the state laws that are governed by the two parties that make it hard to get on a ballot.
This is wish casting.
But
like,
I would like to see Bernie run hard.
Bernie has got to. I mean, he won't do it. He won't do it. But like, if ever there was a situation crying out for a third party candidate of any stripe, it's this election. Because honestly, it is not crazy.
Bernie, you love Eugene V. Debs. He ran as a third party candidate.
It is not crazy that a third party candidate, if it was done in the right way, could win this election. I mean, like,
a lot of things
that's
would
crazy.
have to happen, but it's not
it's
crazy.
Not crazy.
It's
like,
not delusional.
Because turnout will be unbelievably low. It'd probably be the lowest turnout in like modern American history for this election for a lot of reasons. But not just that. If the choice is that we have to face is Trump and Biden, then like that, I'm sorry, like we do not have a democracy.
Yeah.
There needs to be another option. There
has
needs to be someone, something out
to
there.
organize around in opposition to this dead
false
consensus
choice.
that's going to kill us all.
And Matt, you've been talking about Jesse the Body.
That's the thing. So I've been thinking, all right, if we can't be Bernie, who can it be? People say Gloria LaRiva. People say Howie Hawkins. No. They have to be comparably famous. They have to be able to be instantly become a factor, or else it just turns into cranks. It's like those kind of parties, I'm sorry, are essentially magnets for cranks, because it's individual actions that are like divorced from any kind of movement, but like you fix everything around who you're going to vote for to show a message to somebody. So no one is ever going to care about them. I'm sorry. It has to get people's attention who aren't already politically like engaged enough to know what the fucking Green Party or PSL is. So it has to be a famous person but the thing is, there are basically no politicians who have Bernie's bona fides as a leftist, because they're all tainted by neoliberalism. So it has to be a celebrity, but celebrities don't have even, because you can't just be a celebrity. You have to be a celebrity who, like Donald Trump,
I canvassed a guy in middle of nowhere, Iowa, who said he would vote for Bernie, but only if he ran an independent ticket with Jesse the Body.
Elected. An actor or somebody that doesn't have that. The only person I could think of who meets these criterion is Jesse the Mind Ventura, the one-term governor of the fucking state of Minnesota. He was a mayor and a governor, more experienced than fucking Pete Buttigieg.
And here's the thing. It's wish casting, because I'm sure there are a million like legal and procedural hurdles that make it virtually impossible at this point.
Yeah.
But if Bernie Sanders ran as a third party, and you know what? I always said running as a Democrat for Bernie was like it's the shortest distance with the highest reward, so it made sense. But looking back on it now, maybe he should have started out running as a third party from the beginning.
Perhaps.
I mean, honestly, looking at what they did to him, like how can it like?
Yeah, but the thing is, we didn't know.
Yeah.
You know?
But I don't know. Maybe we were foolish to think that the Democratic Party would have ever allowed such a thing to take place. And he took it really fucking far, too. So it looked like it was working for a while. But maybe he should have been a third party from the beginning. Because here's the thing. If he had continued his campaign, same message, same movement, all the millions of people still devoted to it, as a third party candidate going to this general election, I think easily he could finish second and maybe even win this fucking election. Maybe that's yeah. That kind of hurts.
I don't think that would have been true in normal circumstances, is the thing.
Yeah,
right. And this is like, you can't predict. Oh yeah, we got to go third party because there might be a world-spanning pandemic that destroys the world economy.
And here's the thing, like,
that's a hell of a fucking guess.
I know everyone, like, you know, now that it didn't work, we can be like down on him or whatever. But like, I honestly think as I've said this before on the show, the real question is, how did it work as well as it fucking did?
Seriously,
like it's amazing what they actually accomplished. But here's the thing: keep in mind, the Republicans faced this same dilemma in 2016. And Trump won because as undemocratic as the Republicans are, they did not rat fuck their own primary in the same way that Democrats did.
That's because there's a distinction. The only meaningful difference between the Democratic and Republican parties, as far as I can see it, is that the Republican Party's base has essentially conditioned their leadership, as in the leadership is taking its cues from their voters because they feel the whip hand.
Who's taking it from the media or conservative media?
But the Democrats have done the opposite. The Democratic Party has conditioned their voters. The Democratic Party has, like, do you guys remember Fox News in 2016 tried to do the MSNBC thing?
Yeah.
They tried to say Trump's not a real Republican. He's a former Democrat. He's kooky. We don't like him. And the viewers said, fuck you, we love him. And so they decided, actually, no, did we say that? We love Trump. MSNBC says, Bernie's not a real Democrat. He's bad. And the voters say, Bernie's not a real Democrat.
You should be
He's
deleted
bad.
from Twitter.
They are
right.
And the reason for this is very simple. It's because even though the Republican base is wilder and more radical than their leadership, that's really just because the leadership is closer to the actual levers of power and knows like what can actually happen. The Democrat, their base is dreaming, but their base is dreaming from a policy bedrock that is basically in alignment for the most part with what their donors want, with what the actual rulers of the Republican Party want, and so they can be the ones who dictate terms that way. The Democratic Party wants things that their base doesn't. There's a fundamental disconnect because the Democratic Party exists to serve the same interests the Republican Party does, but their base wants them to confront those powers. So there's a fundamental difference there. And so all of that superstructural influence and cultural power that the Democratic Party has, namely its fucking adjuncts in the media, most importantly MSNBC, essentially then dictates terms to their fucking their voters. And they take their cues from them rather than the other way around.
All right. How about another like semi-serious question, and then let's see if we can get some like fun.
Yeah, let's get silly.
Let's get some weirdo questions.
Let's get silly.
Like, dude, like this is quarantine madness. Like,
yeah, we're all getting.
I have one queued up.
Shoot your shot.
I have one queued up that was already silly that I wanted to go to Felix for. Several different people asked Felix, Asuka or Ray.
I have to go with Ray.
Great.
I'm gonna go with Asuka.
All right.
She's a damn princess. She's a damn. She's the only one that she's the only one that lets Shinji know what a little bitch she is.
Asuka tried to warn y'all.
Yeah. I like her cool red Ava.
Yeah, yeah. Her Ava is pretty.
She's a wild ass German bitch. She's like Angela Merkel.
Let's see what else. Throw some more questions in. Everybody's just complaining about the sound effects, which I cannot and frankly will not control.
There's a way to turn them off, though.
Well, yeah, but like usually in Streamlabs there's something called browser source, but I don't see it here.
Yeah, I did not set that up. It was supposed to be only the host
So are people
audio.
still just playing sound over everything we're saying?
No, just a lot of people are subscribing.
You can take off the alert box.
Somebody asked what my favorite use of squibs in movies was.
I know what the answer to this is.
Okay.
The OCP executive getting riddled by the Ed 209.
That is correct.
Just 10 seconds of just like just body just dancing.
And then after that, the hilarious punchline, somebody yelling, "Someone call a goddamn paramedic."
September 2000.
I don't think it'll help. I think he's done.
What's another good one, though? I mean, obviously,
there's a bunch of great ones.
Famously, James Caan in the Godfather.
Oh, yes.
September 2000.
They massacred my boy. Look what they've done.
This is
the Wild Bunch.
Oh, yeah.
Slow motion.
Oh, God. Peckinpah was the king. Peckinpah was the absolute king of slow-mo, of slowing down the action for bullet hits and, like, guys getting ripped apart by machine gun fire.
Fucking Bill Holden and fucking Ernest Borgnine with the Maxim gun.
As long as we're talking about Peckinpah, how about fucking Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia?
Oh, my God. I saw that in the theater.
God damn.
I saw a revival of that thing in the theater. Warren motherfucking Oates.
Warren motherfucking Oates. There are parts of that movie that reach, in my opinion, like Kubrick level, kind of like alienate, kind of a distancing, like an artistic, like Brechtian distancing, kind of. Like the scenes in like that weird office where these guys are getting like foot massages and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it is such a grimy, nasty movie.
So gross.
That cuts against like the Kubrick style in so many ways. But there are moments of that movie that like reach.
And then you've got the
Kubrick level feeling of like kind of.
You've got the elegalic romanticism of Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, which feels like a dream sequence.
Okay, my favorite thing about Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia is that the first like 5-10 minutes of the movie takes place on like this like Mexican like land baron's estate. And people there are like, you know, burros and people on horseback, and you think it's like the 19th century, and then it just rapidly cuts where he sends everyone on the mission. They all pull out of the fucking gates in like a convoy of cars. And what Peckinpah is showing you there is just like
Pokemon go to
the world is still as fucking evil and nasty as it was in the 19th century, that you can't even tell the difference about like the
I reached out to Takashi, and you know, it helped me out a lot. He just said, fuck all the haters, man. You winning. We winning.
Us and, you know, the way people live and behave.
This thing you're talking about, it ain't nothing new.
Yeah. So yeah, Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia, and I would also add Cross of Iron.
Oh hell yeah, Jim Coburn, baby!
Fucking World War II movies, because
one of the great endings ever.
One of the best. They ran out of money.
Oh,
they ran out of money, so the movie just ends. But as a movie,
like they're just laughing and shit.
It's a movie that makes you root for the fucking like Eastern Front Nazi army.
Yeah.
But it does it in a way where it's explicitly about America and Vietnam.
Yep.
Where it's just saying like
we're the Nazis.
That we are the Nazis.
Yeah.
And we're gonna make you root for the fucking the worst part of the fucking Wehrmacht.
Peckinpah ripped.
God, he ripped.
He was so good.
Oh,
When I was in high school, I read like a 500-page biography of Sam. Not joking. It's called "If They Move, Kill Them," and it's a good book. No, Peckinpah fucking ruled.
How about this? We've talked about it a lot on the show. I've seen this question asked a few times. What's your guys' favorite Mad TV sketch?
Will Sasso is Steven Seagal.
Also, well, that's the funniest one. But I think, like, you know, in memory of those lost, Kenny Rogers' Jackass.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Kenny Rogers' Jackass was incredible.
Oh, actually, I should have taken a note for this. Can we just like get some prayers up for Kenny Rogers?
No.
Yeah.
You know, by the way,
we just dropped in to see what condition his condition was in. Not good. Not good.
Too soon, Matt. I do want to say sincerely for a moment. I retweeted it. Dolly Parton posted a video today on her Twitter talking about getting up and seeing on the news that Kenny Rogers had died. And it is such a sweet, heartfelt tribute to him. I was moved to tears by it. Dolly Parton is an
one of
angel.
our great Americans.
She's a national treasure.
One of the great Americans we have.
One of the great Americans of all time. It was a very heartfelt, touching tribute to Kenny Rogers by the great Dolly Parton.
And yes, disgusting pervert, she could still get it. Get your mind out of the gutters.
Were you saying that or someone in the chat?
Some disgusting pervert in the chat.
Please do not disrespect Dolly.
Disgusting.
But yes.
You're all a bunch of filthy. But yes, of course.
Obviously.
Of course she could still get it. Absurd.
I relayed this to you guys, but I think this is funny. What is the Mad TV sketch that's like the little man-child?
Stuart.
I was in a local bodega recently, and I saw a mom and what must have been like a 5 or 6 year old, maybe like somewhere between like 7 and 10-year-old child, and she was checking out, and I saw this kid, like a 7 or 8 year old, on his phone watching Stewart sketches.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
On his
the
phone.
legend continues.
Those are the kids that are going to beat up the kids on TikTok who make inoffensive comedy.
Yeah. And I was I think he did it on Mad TV, but Ari Spears' Shaquille O'Neal impression is really
incredible.
Really good too. Really funny.
It was a one-off, but Pax TV Sopranos.
Oh, that was so good.
Yeah, that was fucking hilarious.
No, I think that may be my favorite. That'd be my favorite.
Sasso's
one of Sasso's
best
great.
comedic actors.
Sasso is fucking fantastic
in American history. What a fucking master,
dude! Like back
really
when
funny Vines too.
He did
back when
great
Vine was
Vines.
on, when he was
the
like
thing with the lemon,
or no, the dad visiting New York, where he's just like Esbarro or whatever. He's like, hey, look at here. This is where the pizza is. There's coffee. Or he's just walking around the aisles of a supermarket, like talking about the produce. It's just this very specific dad kind of character that's like impressed by everything, or just is sort of like a wink and a nod. It's just, Sasso is a god. He's fucking genius.
One of the greatest.
He would just regurgitate a lemon,
dude. And also totally underrated and maligned because of our culture's stupid being like, Mad TV's bad and SNL is good.
Well, don't make me choose people. I mean, I appreciate.
By the way,
both.
SNL's on indefinite hiatus.
I know
right
that
now.
we might have seen the last of it. That Daniel Craig
Thank
episode
God.
would have been the last episode ever, and my God, it honestly is a fitting tombstone because it was dog shit. Really terrible.
You're telling me it wasn't good?
No,
You
the one
me.
with fucking
crazy.
Elizabeth fucking Warren.
Oh.
You guys mentioned Sopranos in the Mad TV part. I saw another question I thought was fairly funny. Could you guys maybe create a mind picture or an episode pitch of how the Sopranos crew would respond to coronavirus?
Okay, that's a very good question.
We should go around the table.
That's a very good question. All right, I'll start. The first thing that immediately when that question, the first thing that popped in my head would be Carmela and AJ and Tony. Meadow would get it, but Carmela, AJ, and Tony's struggle to deal with what it actually the ramifications of it are, and being like AJ being like, you mean I can't go to the Slipknot concert? Or just like Tony just still going out and like touching everyone's gabagool, and Carmela just still needing to go shopping for doodads and knickknacks and shit like that.
Paulie Walnuts would do total self-contained.
Yeah.
Like tape off his fucking door.
But in the dumbest way, he would duct tape a plastic bag over his head and die.
Yes. No, he would just be like dual wielding pledge everywhere.
Wait, okay, I got another good one. Silvio's increasingly desperate attempts to get people to come to Bada Bing, where he's just offering like, hey, $5 off wings, free wings. Hey, we'll give you free wings and a free drink and a hand job. Just come, please.
We got no more foot traffic.
Yeah.
There would be like a good B plot about Tony trying to buy the N95 masks from like. Do you remember specifically the Vipers episode?
Yes.
The guy that they did the deal with. The fat guy.
All right. At least one of them though would have to not think it was a real thing. Who would be the one who would deny it?
Christopher.
I was thinking
100%.
Christopher would be like, I don't know, Tone. I've been watching this InfoWars.
Yeah.
This guy says it's all a hoax.
Yeah. What are they talking about? I don't know nobody who's sick.
No, and then Tony would like correct him and be like, Christopher, what the fuck are you talking about?
You talking about? You want to watch the news?
Wait, you don't trust Wolf Blitzer watching him on the TV?
Watching on the TV.
But at the same time, Tony, he would not let it affect his behavior or daily life in any way.
Not at all.
He would still be like just touching everyone with his greasy, sweaty hands, kissing them on the cheek.
But he would, in his mind, think that he was taking it seriously.
Right.
Eating gabagool out of the fridge with his bare hands. Just rubbing Artie's bald head, trying to go by Vesuvio's, and just like
Carmela would keep going to like stupid like Catholic women's luncheons.
Yes.
No one would follow it. No one would follow it.
Oh, Ro would be very freaked out by it.
Ro would be like,
terrified
this is end times.
Yeah. She'd be like, oh my God. Well, Carmela, they talk about this in the Bible.
Yeah.
Oh, Marom.
If Meadow didn't get it, she would be part of like a really bad NGO's response to it. Like one of those that spends like 87% on overhead.
And Meadow would be constantly like scolding her parents about like breaking quarantine or not observing social distancing.
Yeah.
Oh man, this could
I wish
run
it
and
was
run.
here. I wish
David
it was
Chase,
here.
are you out there? Please bring the Sopranos back. James Gandolfini, do you hear us?
Well, no.
Do you hear us, sir?
It's good that he's dead though, because as we all know, Tony died at the end of that episode, so he wouldn't be in the fucking new version.
What?
Yeah, he died.
What?
Brendan?
No. I know he's dead, Matt, but you said it's good that he's dead.
All right,
dude.
buddy.
Go right outside the hospital and start kissing people right now. Just go to.
I'm sorry, I was being flippant. Of course, it's not good that we lost national treasure James Gandolfini, one of our finest actors.
Unbelievable. I would like Ralph Cifaretto as well, because like he's already a persnickety guy. So I think he would be sort of like both.
I reached out to Takashi, it helped me out a lot. He just said,
"Fuck out of here, get the fuck out of here."
Would be Ralphie. All right, that was a great question, by the way. Keep some that. God, just give us a concept we can run with.
Somebody just asked Ottoman Janissary or a Polish Hussar who would win. I think that was settled by the fucking Great Siege of Vienna in 1683.
Also, that's sort of like a Pepsi or Coke thing. They're made out of the same thing.
That is true. It's all Slav.
It's true. It's true.
It's Slav on Slav Islands.
A big Slav child.
Slav on Slav Islands.
Slav on my Slav.
Slav on my Slav.
The turban.
Well, I'm waiting for some
Slav on my Slav.
I'm waiting for any of these 3,200 people to come up with another entertaining.
God, you fucking losers!
Entertaining question. I'll see something that a few other people.
Give us a bad question so we can yell at the person.
A few different people have brought this up, and I'm just opening the floor to speculate wildly among all of you about all the videos we've seen the last day of like National Guard APCs being trained into various urban areas. Any comment?
I mean, the one thing, it's like, you know, I think people are so conditioned by movies to react to everything like a movie. Like that amazing,
I love a movie.
That amazing Twitter video that we saw the other day of that guy being like talking about how Sanjay Gupta is on TV talking about this, and also in the movie Contagion, and be like, how are you going to tell me this isn't a conspiracy? Where it's just like the movie written about a pandemic would feature certain plot points that are similar to what an actual pandemic would be like. But
how did
they
like
predict
that
this could
How'd
happen?
You know that would happen?
How could they predict it? So like, yeah, I mean, obviously, anytime you see a large amount of like military ordnance being moved into like urban centers, yeah, pretty creepy.
Oh yeah,
pretty weird. But at the same point, it's like, I mean, as long as we have a National Guard and military, isn't this kind of the thing that they're supposed to fucking do?
No, this is like the capacity.
I don't know.
Like, hey, you know what we've been putting all of our XP points in as a country for the past 100 years, basically? Fucking military. So that's where all of our capacity is. It's literally where we put all of the money that we actually spend infrastructurally.
I mean, look, yeah. Like I said, creepy to think about, but I think people are doing this because they like goosing themselves. At the idea.
They love it. They're
love the idea.
Everyone's
of
twisting their nipples a little at the prospect.
It's just a little pleasure pain.
Waiting for that army guy to show up on the thing with the sunglasses and say, like, I am your new overlord. I just get to feel the frisson of history.
You were doing that about an hour ago.
Yeah,
man.
I'm saying it's all part of the same psychological mechanism. It's also kind of true, though.
I'm gonna become friends with the army guy who comes to my building. Me and him, it's gonna be like Gerald Ford and Homer Simpson.
It's just like
we're gonna talk.
We don't know what the deal is.
I'm gonna be fine.
I would just like to say
I
right
don't
now.
know about you guys, but
I would just like to say right now, the pilot of the bomber. If you incinerate New York City, you incinerate the syrup. Remember that?
Oh, from Outbreak.
Outbreak.
Yeah.
Dustin Hoffman.
I would
Dustin
like
Hoffman. Yeah, good shit.
I just watched that for some reason.
Really? For some weird reason?
Some weird reason. The very first shot of the movie is a monkey doing soy face.
Monkeys love doing
soy face. Yeah, they do the soy face
They
a
do
lot,
it.
and
They
it's
do it all
weird
the
because
time.
they're like high tea.
Yeah.
They're high tea, but like when they get like a piece of fruit, they're like,
yeah.
Oh my God!
It's
you
like
do love getting a
fruit
piece of
unwrapping video. Don't turn around, Matt. Don't turn around.
TOS.
Yo, Matt, you need. Honestly, when's your birthday, fam? I'm gonna get you some suspenders.
Oh yeah, he does need to become a suspenders guy.
You need to become a suspenders guy.
Like that needed to happen so long ago. That needed to happen so fucking long ago.
Dude, this is the roast stream. Dude.
Yeah. Let's go, dude.
Okay.
I may not be on jury duty, but I'm playing the dozen.
Okay.
Oh, my kettlebell finally fucking shipped. Let's go, boys.
Let's see.
If there aren't any good questions, does anyone want to look at some?
We could do some Gulf War cards unboxing.
Yeah.
If there's one more question.
I mean,
is it all just dribble?
I don't know if you want to like talk about this shit, but you could continue roasting. I saw one that I don't know may lead to a higher conceptual level because there's a lot of ways that you could take this. Let's do as a last fun one. You guys can choose either what is the best, or I would tweak it to say most continually relevant or holds up the best Simpsons episode, or who is the worst poster of all time.
Okay, let's go with Simpsons episode first.
Okay.
I would say, like, certainly in light of what's currently going on, I would say the two Simpsons episodes that I come back to again and again as being, like, not only two of the greatest ones of all time. I mean, these are easy picks, but two of the most relevant in their depictions of American society. Monorail and Casino. That's it. Those are two of the great... I mean, I know they're easy picks, but it's because they're 5-star Stone Cold classics.
And they both start with democracy taking place.
Yes,
in the form of everyone showing up at the town hall and becoming huge idiot rubes and making terrible decisions that ruin everything for everyone.
Monorail and Casino. Matt, do you have? I mean, you're more of a you're a Simpsons expert.
I was actually kind of thinking about this because actually, shout out to the boys at the Columbia City Theater, I think it's called, in Seattle. Who they gave me this shirt after they invited me to curate a night of Simpsons episodes on their at their theater. Apparently it was sold out. They said it was a big hit, so I was really happy about that. And I recorded a little intro to all of them, and they had me pick 5. And so I did it around the theme of Homer because I think Homer's the most interesting and funniest character. He's the most important. He's like the symbolic lodestone. So I did all episodes that not only were about Homer but had Homer in the title. And the ones that I picked were Homer the Vigilante with the cat burglar, which you know that one?
Sam Neill. The great Sam Neill. By the way, if you're looking for good vibes, please follow Sam Neill on Instagram. He's doing lovely quarantine videos.
He's a
I love
sweetheart.
his farm and pig and stuff is wonderful. But if you're looking for good vibes during the quarantine, please follow Sam Neill on Instagram. One of the most blessed men alive.
So yes, which has one of maybe my favorite ever Simpsons joke, where Lisa's trying to talk her dad out of forming a vigilante posse, and she says, "If you're the police, who will police the police?" And he says, "I don't know, Coast Guard."
just brilliant writing, just so good.
Oh, I love that joke so much. So the other, so that one, Homer Badman. Which is
with a man in the White House, Dennis Franz.
Rowdy Peeper. That one is such a great, incisive examination of cancel culture, honestly, and also the media. Really funny, and also has one of the best jokes ever in that the scene where they have the rock bottom retractions.
Yeah.
And they go really fast. If you were a certain type of nerd, you recorded that shit off TV, and then you stopped and paused and you read every one, which I did. And they were fucking hilarious.
What's the chant where they're like, 2, 4, 6, 8, Homer's crime was very great.
Great, meaning larger amounts. We mean it in the pejorative sense. But some of the ones that were in the retractions were like, licking a light socket doesn't make you a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. Cats do not eventually turn into dogs. It was really good.
You have more Simpsons stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
What are the other three? Then there was when Homer goes to college, which was, I think it was around the same time as Monorail. It was another Conan O'Brien episode, which I really like, where he's like Animal House and he meets the nerds. That's really funny. And then the one that really I think is maybe number one all time for me is Deep Space Homer, because Homer really is a representation of I know he's technically an Xer by when he is what his age is on the show or something, but he is a boomer. He is the boomer, and he embodies the entire post-war American ideal.
Well, do you remember what Bill Oakley told us about when they were writing Homer?
Yeah, imagine your dad.
He said we were imagining our parents when we were writing Homer, even though Homer was supposed to be a character that was our age.
He is the boomer. He is the winner of the genetic lottery, or of the time and place space lottery, the inheritor of the post-war boom, and all of the lethargy and decadence that implies.
September 2000.
And no social project embodies that era, in my opinion, more than the space program, right? That was the moment of full largesse of we've solved all the problems on Earth. We're going to reach the stars. That was the mid-century high point of modernism. So Homer in the space program to me is the ideal expression of the character, and it's also a very funny episode. It has one of my favorite bits, which is Kent Brockman and the ants. They will soon be here, and I, for one, welcome them and tell them that I could be helpful in getting humans to go to work in their underground sugar caves.
The second question is a lot more difficult. Who's the worst poster of all time? Because the answer is, for me, whoever annoys me most that day.
It's true.
It's an impossible trophy to give, because Twitter is such a day by day disposable thing. It's just whoever pisses me the most off on that day.
Yep.
And there are so many that could legitimately take that title. That and honestly, most of the people who I do truly hate is not even worth saying their names on a stream, because to give them attention at all,
yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to give them the smoke that they crave.
Is a sin. So
I would say worst. Okay, just as far as bad output, they're putting out a bad.
Just
product.
Most consistently bad.
Church of the Subgenius.
Ooh. Okay.
Real cringe.
I've never even
cringe.
I've never even seen their shit.
It's real cringe.
That's some Gen X or even earlier, early underground media.
Yeah, and
I
would qualify it as posting, and it's Yeah, the perfect type of like Gen X culture jamming stuff where it's like just sort of generically against conformity.
Yeah.
Or consumerism.
Yeah. Their whole
absolutely
that
god
meme
awful
they had.
dog
It's a
shit.
picture of two guys standing back to back, and they're the left and the right wings, right?
Yeah.
And the left wing is like a hippie guy going like, "Down with government, no property," and the other guy is like an old business guy going like, "Down with whatever." And the guy in the middle,
Down with
the
government, more
subgenius,
property.
the subgenius guy is picking both of their pockets because they're right next to each other. It's like the horseshoe.
That's pretty
theory.
cool.
That's awesome.
It's fucking
yeah.
epic.
And
I mean,
so I'm saying Church of the Subgenius because it's longest time posting, least good posts produced in that time.
See, to
the
me,
worst
like-
ratio. They've been posting since what year?
The
I don't know.
70s.
Like late 70s
It's old
or
as
something?
shit. It's
Late
like, I think
70s.
it like came out of the Illuminatus books, which were written in the 70s.
And translated to posts on the internet.
Which are
none
not
of them
good books, by
None
the
of
way.
them good.
Doesn't really hold up. I really liked it when I read it in college, but yeah, it doesn't hold up.
So I would say like historically worst poster.
I will
Worst
I
poster
will
of the
add an
modern
addendum
age.
to this is that Virgil has gotten us a subscription to Adbusters.
Oh boy,
in the
I was gonna
office.
say,
And,
but holy
rocks.
shit!
When we were in
Why?
here,
Wait, why?
when we
No, I'm glad. No, dude, we should go through the issue we were reading. It was hilarious.
He opened the first issue that we got when we were in here recording the last Beltway Garage, and just opened to a random page and start reading, and it is hilarious.
Oh,
and
it was like
on some future stream we will crack open
it's
an
like
Adbusters and just
it's
read
like
it.
tired, neoclassical economics, Wired, Bionomics.
Yeah, we're gonna bring
That's true.
Bionomics.
It's
That
like
is true.
we have to win in the meme space.
I mean, the thing is, like, there are so many posters that I despise for like inscrutable personal reasons. But like, again,
yes.
it's like to
We should talk about the quality of the post.
Yeah, to bring that up is like is beneath me and you, dear stream viewer. Whereas like for me, like if you're talking about the big ones, that like the really bad accounts are the accounts that are very popular and have a style of humor that cuts against everything that I think makes Twitter good, which is that they are like overwhelmingly sincere, but like with a little like just enough tinge of sort of snarky adorkableness, but also like their politics and worldview are like complete dog shit. And I'm just going to use an example because they just came back recently. Tweet of God. One of the most awful accounts
my
of
God.
all time.
One of the worst posters ever.
And this is the Tweet of God had a tweet last week that implied that the people of Iran deserve to die from this plague because they're an evil country.
Because they dared to overthrow the U.S.-backed dictator.
So that's a good example for me.
No, that
like,
guy, David Yaverbaum, one of the biggest pieces of shit.
Oh, and actually, you know what I would say? This is an umbrella. Worst accounts of all time. Any writer for a TV show who's on Twitter.
They are dog shit.
Pretty bad.
Any writer for a
Real
TV
bad.
show that's on Twitter is
Showrunner.
abysmal.
If you create television-
Every fucking comedy writer on Twitter is named like Garrett Hunter Gavin. There's just a picture of them with just a baffling balding pattern. Like it makes no sense. Like it looks like a fucking symbol you would use in calculus. And they're wearing some infuriating outfit for assholes, like a shirt, like a bowling shirt with a tie and then a hoodie, and then like a newsboy cap, and they have like a look like, I guess this is our world. I guess Trump's the president. And okay, and all their pinned post is like, hey, we'll get through this day, even if that fucking motherfucker's still president.
Okay, I'm gonna add another. This is another umbrella category because like again, you can't do this
that's
individually.
brutal. That's brutal.
You can't do this individually. It has to be done by type because there are just so many posters that it's impossible to say who's the worst. But you can identify patterns.
Yes.
Yeah.
And sort of like genus and species of poster. I'm gonna give you this one: dog shit, awful, abysmal, infuriating content. Any guy who's a poster where their Avi is a picture of them and they're doing this.
Oh, yeah.
Give me one of these sort of like.
That's across the political spectrum.
Oh, yeah, no.
That face is like, it's on the left, it's on the right, it's on the center.
Sort of like some wry little look of like.
Okay, yeah,
Can you believe this?
Can you believe what's going on?
One of these are sort of looking up like, or just like a side eye little. Just anything like that. just
dog shit.
Just eradicate. Just total massacre.
Shit.
National level journalists are some of the worst.
Oh, terrible.
Ooh, yeah.
Get your head out of your ass.
Except for true heroes like Chris Cillizza, who's so bad it's good.
Yeah,
like,
no, Chris Cillizza's a god.
I will not hear a bad word said against him.
I love him. I love him. Like in this, he's so shitty that he rocks. He's like sort of alpha. But local journalists, like, that doesn't count. Like most local journalists, like, just post like they
post like they're on Facebook.
Yeah, or like a local food chain post. Like, I don't care. It's like either charming or like very official. There's not a lot of bullshit. But like national level journalists, you could argue that they dragged posting down more than any other group. They're
bad.
the worst at it. They're
the worst at it. And the worst of all, they're the one who dictate the etiquette.
Right. They're the
ones who decide that like disagreeing is harassment.
Well, they're the worst posters because they're the least actually self-reflective. Being self-reflective and being self-hating aren't the same thing. They are the latter.
Yeah.
They have the least ability to like actually laugh at themselves.
They have no sense of humor at all.
Actually laugh at their circumstances. I mean, actually laughing at yourself. Actually laughing at your own nature, your own perceptions. Not like, I just did the most me thing and I had Cocoa Crisp for dinner. Like, you know, that's not.
No. I got another one.
They have all the qualities that make a horrible poster. They have no originality.
No, oh god, it's all just like, I guess this is a thing.
Yeah.
If you've got one or two more, let's do one or two more, and then let's break into those Gulf War trading cards.
I have another subcategory of a group of people that is unbearable to see their output on Twitter. That is the category of authors I once respected, or authors whose books I actually really like.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man, stop it.
And when you see their output on Twitter, it is the most unimaginative and also like politically poisonous, diseased horseshit imaginable. I'm speaking specifically about William Gibson and Don Winslow and David Simon
and Stephen King.
Stephen King, like Don Winslow has been abysmal lately. Just complete anti-Bernie. He was the guy saying like, take it from me, I have sources who know.
He's a Russian
Bernie's
asset.
dropping out after South Carolina. It's like, really? What's up, man? And William Gibson is a guy whose books I revere. Like his short stories and like the Sprawl trilogy.
William Gibson is tragic.
And like even up until like
Rick Perlstein.
The Blue Ant trilogy like are all fucking bangers. His most recent novel, Peripheral, was great. He has a new book out now that's a follow-up to Peripheral that I hear hinges around Hillary Clinton saving the universe.
Yes.
Oh boy, William Gibson on Twitter is awful. Awful. Don Winslow, David Simon, fucking it's just everyone who I thought was a good writer.
I gotta say,
when they have a chance to share their thoughts unfiltered in that format, it is
also gotta say,
appalling.
Rick Perlstein in nonfiction.
God, yeah, him
He's
too.
probably my favorite historian, like recent history. Like his trilogy of books are some of my favorite books about American contemporary politics, and he is just the most dog shit brain liberal idiot.
It's really tragic.
It's very sad.
He's like he is simping hard.
It would suck if Robert Caro got on Twitter.
Oh,
he never would. He never. Yeah,
and his posts were like, I think Biden has the experience we need.
Yeah, yeah. No, you know he would. You know
he probably would. He's old.
He's not a big name, but he's a great writer. A guy named Felix Gilman. He has written a couple of great sort of steampunk. No, I don't really like steampunk, but he wrote two great books that kind of seem like steampunk. The Half-Made World and The Rise of Ransom City. They're really good, and he is also on Twitter, and he is very good, and he's cool.
You know who would have had like a cool Twitter? Like you wouldn't have always agreed with him, but it would be like interesting. It wouldn't be like
Celine.
Yeah, it'd be like, dude, cool Groiper. No, Frank Herbert.
Yeah,
Frank Herbert. Like you probably wouldn't want to look at his likes tab. It would just be like, I don't know, like pictures of women's feet taken on the train or something.
Yeah.
But like, he would have an interesting web presence.
Sorry, fucking Don Winslow last week was saying that it was Bernie Sanders was putting millions of people at risk by not dropping out.
Yeah.
And making them go to the polls.
Yeah, even though he said to fucking postpone this shit.
Well, actually, I have dirt on Don Winslow if you guys want to hear it. Yeah.
Spill
the only reason he got to be a famous author is because his dad was a famous police officer on TV. Michael. So like next time you talk shit about Bernie, dude, you just throw that right back at him.
Yes.
All right. Let's bust into these trading cards.
Let's do some.
All right, let's do it.
All right, I can set this bit up.
All right, set it up.
I have in my hands
some
documents. These trading cards were a gift from Rowan, who sent them in to us. He saw us twice in Iowa, so thanks to Rowan. Here's his letter about these cards. Okay, on to the fun part. I spend a lot of time. I see a lot of random stuff on eBay. I find an artifact of American past. These are one of the more cursed items I have found. Let's take a stroll back through the first Gulf War. Good luck finding MVB cards for Saddam, Stormin' Norman, and Bush. Rookie card for Cheney. So let's see if we can find that. And more cursed shit. Solidarity forever, Rowan. Thank you for the great gift.
All right,
these are authentic Gulf War
this is
I
an unopened box of
cards.
Gulf War trading cards from 1991.
He's a Desert Storm Pro Set.
I think each of us should open one.
We should each open one pack.
Yeah,
one pack.
Yeah.
All right, let's send these out.
I'll probably open more in the future, but for today, we'll just open one pack.
Let's just see which one each one of us get. Is there gum involved?
And after you guys grab one, I'll pick it up and
you want one,
bring it over and give us close up.
You want one, Chris? You want a pack? You want to do open?
No, I'll just grab the ones that you find and bring them over here for close up.
I just want to read what the so this is. Hold it up for the kid. These are Desert Storm Pro Set, Desert Storm Gulf War trading cards. These are geography, military skills, intelligence files, leaders, military assets, personnel, and governments. 10 educational collectible cards. This was produced by Pro Set Incorporated, printed in the USA. For a free Pro Set Desert Storm cards checklist, send your name and address to Pro Set Gazette DS, 17250 Dallas Parkway, Dallas, Texas, 75248. Pro Set is a registered trademark of Pro Set Incorporated in the United States and Canada. All rights reserved.
100% of Pro Set Inc. profits from these cards benefits families of Gulf Storm veterans.
All right, let's see what we got here. All right, I'll go through mine first. Okay. My first card here, military asset, F-16 Fighting Falcon. Very cool.
Yeah.
Good work. Very cool.
Good work.
Very cool one. Okay. Next, military skill, recognition cards. These are visual aircraft recognition that, it's to identify.
Oh, so you can see what the shapes
by silhouette
of the different ships.
Yeah, different shapes.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So you can know what's coming.
It says here, the U.S. Armed Forces uses flashcards to learn to identify friendly and enemy aircraft and armor at a glance. Military personnel practice quizzing each other with these cards in the field, aboard ship and flight-ready rooms. The recognition cards feature the name and silhouette of the vehicle. These military trading cards served as an inspiration for the Pro Set Operation Desert Storm cards.
The funny thing is they also would have drawn in the recognition cards. They'd have little guys begging to surrender while they get barbecued. That's how they did the Highway of Death.
Oh, wow. My next card is really good. This is intelligence file, Middle East history, ancient.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm just going to read the back of this.
That's where I get all my knowledge about ancient history. Yo, from them cards.
Like the cover of the card is like a ziggurat of some kind.
Yeah. I know. I've been knowing about ziggurats, yo.
That's what you need to invade Iraq, just a deep knowledge of Sumerian fertility gods.
Middle East history, ancient. Rivers in the Middle East played a key role in the development of early civilization.
I've been saying that.
I've been
saying that.
The Sumerians, who lived in Mesopotamia, parentheses, Iraq, between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, gave civilization measurements in units of 60, writing, cuneiform, and use of the wheel and the arch. Egyptian civilization developed along the Nile, contributed hieroglyphics and papyrus to writing. All right, next. Oh, this is a good one. This is a leader card. James Baker. Jim Baker.
This is a real Dracula.
Capo the Don.
Oh, yeah.
Capo the Don bullshit.
We got to figure out a way to do a card game, like a Magic the Gathering. This is a rare card. This is your trump card.
James Baker. It's not like it's not like a Charizard, but he's like, if you're playing however you're supposed to play this, like Magic the Gathering, like James Baker's a really good guy.
No, that guy, he's
very strong.
He has a lot of powers.
He is the gray eminence behind the entire Bush dynasty.
The Carlisle group. All that shit.
And he was the guy who got fucking junior elected by going hard after
he was the guy they
recount.
sent to Florida.
Yeah.
He was the guy who captained the effort to stop the recount in Florida.
Yep.
All right. Next up. Oh God, this is a weird one. Yeah. Wait, no. Here. Yeah, these are the discards. All right. This one is really good. Geography, Denmark.
Ooh.
All right, dude. Let's go.
Denmark.
Let's go.
Yeah, in case you're not aware here, located in northwestern Europe, Denmark consists it consists of about 500 islands in the Jutland Peninsula. A major regional power for centuries, Denmark is associated more with the other Scandinavian countries than with its southern European neighbors.
That's true.
Denmark is a charter member of the United Nations for Operation Desert Storm. Denmark supplied personnel.
Yay, way to go, Denmark. Take a bow, guys.
Yeah, we won.
Yeah,
dude.
way to not get invaded by Germany for once.
Okay, this is a good one. Military asset, C5 Galaxy.
Ooh.
These are one of these big combat cargo planes.
Yeah.
It can accommodate up to 291,000 pounds of cargo, or, for example, 2 combat-ready M1A1 Abrams tanks or 3 assault helicopters. On the upper deck, there are 73 seats for personnel who support the equipment being airlifted. So this is a massive
big old boy.
Military cargo
If
jet.
if you're moving, if you have to transport all those attack helicopters, you and your friends definitely use one of those.
That's the favored form of transportation of someone.
All right, this is another good one. Military asset, Kilauea class ammunition ship. This is the ammunition ships such as the Santa Barbara and the Shasta are equipped with helicopters for transfer of supply. So this is part of supply chains in the Persian Gulf. Keeping people out, keeping our fighting men,
keeping fighting men informed.
Intelligence file, Middle East history present.
Yeah, hell yeah!
All right.
That's also where I got my information.
You got to start with the past and work your way up.
I'll get my information about current events from the course,
dude. If you have ancient history and present and James Baker, you could win. You could have the best deck. You have everything you need.
I'm gonna just read here: Middle Eastern history present. One key to understanding present Middle Eastern events is Arab nationalism.
Oil. Right. I was going to say oil for some reason.
The Arab world is divided over whether to unite under a single political entity for the benefit of power and therefore recognition. Crucial to peace in the Middle East is for Western nations to acknowledge Arabs for significance beyond terrorism, camels, and oil. Are you kidding me?
See you as real people.
Whoever wrote these cards, you canceled, sis. That's that on that.
Fair enough. The Husseins and Gaddafis will continue to rise because they represent the hopes of people who consider themselves ignored and mistreated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Hey, what happened to Gaddafi, though?
Yeah. And Hussein. And Hussein.
Guess we'll never know.
Those guys. Okay.
The next one's going to be have you considered aiding radical Islam?
All right. Next one is just geography, Kuwait. Obviously, this one very important to Operation Desert Storm.
You need that one, yeah.
All right. This is leader Javier Perez de Cuellar. This is the Secretary General of the United Nations from Lima, Peru. I actually forgot that was.
I forgot about him. He must have been before Boutros Ghali, who was the funniest named one.
And then, those are all my cards. Here, I'll get Chris. I'll give you.
All right. I'll display some of these. Yeah. All right. Now my turn.
That was a good set. That was a very good set.
Very strong set.
All right. First, we have a military asset in the armor and artillery area. The multiple launch rocket system.
Very good.
MLRS. This is a heavy duty thing. This is
Marxist-Leninist dual power missile system.
Mounted on the same chassis as the M2 Bradley infantry fighting vehicle, the MLRS is a devastating military delivery system. The system is capable of launching 12 rockets in 1 minute against entrenched enemy.
That rules.
In Operation Desert Storm, the MLRS was used against the Iraqi fortifications along the occupied Kuwaiti border. Highly mobile on track, it can move quickly, making it a difficult target for enemy artillery or attacking aircraft. If only we could load this up with some fucking corona tests and masks and shoot them at people. It might be helpful. I don't know how much help this is going to be.
Let me get a look at that.
Yeah. You guys can look at that.
Yeah,
badass.
I got to say the Katyusha looks cooler.
Yeah, well, no, the Katyusha.
It's the coolest looking truck.
Yes.
It's so fucking
cool. All right, here we go. Military skill. Courtesy.
Nice, dude.
We all know how
courtesy, professionalism, respect.
You're going to need that when you meet James Baker.
Yeah.
Courtesy takes many forms in the U.S. military. The most noticeable military courtesy is the salute to a superior officer.
I thought they meant to the native populations.
None, of course, none for them.
Yeah, okay.
Exterminate the brutes.
Yeah.
When saluting, assume the position of attention. We have thumb and fingers extended and joined. Keep hand and wrist unbent. Incline. They're literally explaining how to shake someone's hand. Incline the forearm at 45
don't do that now.
degrees.
Don't do that now.
Hold upper arm horizontal. Bring heels together and look squarely at the person being saluted.
You know what?
Suck their hog. In general, do not salute when at work, indoors, guarding prisoners, or under battle conditions. So they're literally explaining how to salute someone.
You know what? I think in these troubled times, I think civilians should start saluting each other instead of shaking hands.
That's a good idea.
You know what? That helps. Let's do it, folks. We're all we're all soldiers in the army in the war against Corona.
You know what? But if you want to be like a little bit like you know, I was into saluting before it was cool. You could just give one of these.
Yeah, that's cool.
Don't do that. Please don't do that.
Don't do that. Here we go.
Please don't.
Hey,
do that.
government. Hey, we're talking about all the beautiful parts of government that came together to make the Iraq War such a success. We got to give a big shout out to the Central Intelligence Agency.
Oh, that's a good one.
We love it.
That's a good one.
You guys are talking about some superstructure.
This is
the
a
actual
rare
government.
That is a rare. If you get
this is the deep state.
If you get a foil CIA card in the deck, that's worth hundreds on the market.
Baker. I play the guy who could fill James Baker's hard drives with child porn in 2 seconds.
I need a Carlucci card, or I'm not beating either of you guys.
Okay. This is a badass motherfucker here. The Central Intelligence Agency, or CIA, was created by the National Security Act of 1947. Thank you, Harry Truman, you fucking rube. You dumb, crooked hillbilly. To oversee the intelligence activities of the USA. Though most of the CIA activities involve foreign intelligence, the agency does coordinate with the FBI on internal affairs. Wink. Operation Chaos much? It is one of the 6 executive agencies that reports directly to the president. The current director, William Webster, there he is looking rock-jawed, looking like fucking Bill Sadler,
Pokemon go to
was appointed by President Ronald Reagan in 1987. President George H.W. Bush was director of the CIA.
Oh, yeah, remember that?
In 1976. Isn't that crazy that the fucking president used to be the fucking CIA director? Also, this guy, William Webster, they put him in there after Bill Casey died. Bill Casey, who supervised the entire Iran-Contra arms for drugs for hostages pipeline. So that's fun.
The CIA, I think that's the best card we've unfurled.
I mean, it's the most important.
That's pretty powerful.
The rest of this is just stagecraft and stage management. That's the real thing.
I mean, it's better than the how to salute card.
Absolutely.
I think
if you're alone in your bunker, how to relieve yourself, like the jacking off card.
That's an important part of military courtesy. Is jacking off quietly enough not to disturb your bunk mates.
Yeah. Hey guys, we're talking about countries, right? We're talking about countries that pitched in. We talked about Denmark and their 500 islands. How about one big island, Taiwan?
Hey, okay.
One of the most common phrases in English is made in Taiwan.
Or as I call it, Little Saint China.
Reflecting the U.S. investments after World War II in electronics and textiles, the island nation of Taiwan. Ruled by Japan from 1895 till 1945, Taiwan
What happened? Wait, why did they stop in 1945?
They got defeated.
Wait, why?
They lost. And then Taiwan became predominantly Chinese when more than 2 million immigrants fled the mainland during the 1949 revolution. They also then genocided the native indigenous Formosan islanders. They don't talk about that, but yeah. Chiang Kai-shek and those guys did that shit. In 1971, Taiwan was replaced in the United Nations by China. Ouch. That's gotta hurt. R.I.P. to them. Qatar.
That's a good one, dude. That's a good one.
This is another high on the board in terms of way higher than Taiwan in terms of setting.
I feel like Qatar was just coming out in Gulf War I, but now like they're big players.
Do you know what?
This is like a rookie card.
I believe it.
Because I believe it was after this that Qatar became the forward operating base for CENTCOM, right?
Yep. And
so this is when they became so central to U.S. Military strategy in the region.
I'm going to give you a quote for your Qatar card that they're not going to have on there. I think this was Bandar Bush.
Yeah.
Bandar bin Sultan said this one. Oil field with a TV station.
Yep. No, it's like when
TV station FX.
Yeah. when MBS and the Saudis turned against Qatar, the fact that they had that base is what saved their ass.
They would have been toast otherwise.
So this them in Gulf War is when they got to step onto the stage and become real players.
They really punch above their weight.
They do, yeah. Next, they were able to hold out against the entire GCC, which is pretty impressive.
Well, the Saudis actually fucked that up really badly,
of course, because MBS is a complete fucking moron. All right, military asset, Warbird. This is one of the great planes of all time, the FA-18 Hornet.
I was going to say my favorite's the Warthog.
That is my favorite.
Gulf War planes,
and that destroyed a bunch of tanks. The whole thing is just built around the central Gatling gun.
It's so cool.
It's really cool.
It's like they're slow, but they're so
And what's
tough.
awesome is that it's an ideal close air support vehicle. So like it can, if you're doing like an armored incursion or something, it could back you up like very low, fly slow into close to the ground. And the thing is, it's right there, but the fucking Air Force has been developing their own for no reason, and it's just because like that one's gross and it's not ours.
It's the Army.
It's just it's the pathetic pissing match. It's very frustrating because I hope somebody gets a Warthog. That's cool. But the Hornet's cool too. The multi-mission Hornet is both a fighter and an attack aircraft. Carrier or land-based, it is used by both the U.S. Navy and the U.S. Marine Corps and can carry up to 17,000 pounds of air-to-air or air-to-ground missiles and bombs. There were 128 deployed in Operation Desert Storm throughout 6 carrier groups and U.S. Marine land bases.
So Joe Sestak was probably in charge of one of those.
Oh, absolutely. It's got a range of over 600 miles, a max speed of Mach 1.8, made by McDonnell Douglas. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
And armed with 20-millimeter M61 gun, 2 wingtip Sidewinder missiles, and other missiles and bombs.
Can we get some McDonnell Douglas going in the chat?
Can we get a little McDonnell Douglas going? Military skill, discipline.
Nice.
That's a good one.
Nice.
Attention.
Bondage, discipline.
Discipline is the hallmark of all U.S. Marines. At boot camp, they are taught self-reliance, self-direction, and self-pleasure. Discipline, sorry. Their motto, Semper Fidelis, is a Latin term meaning always faithful. Since the founding of the Corps, there's never been a mutiny of U.S. Marines. Sounds like a bunch of cucks. Using self-control can bring success in the most difficult circumstances. Discipline.
Marines are the most brainwashed people.
Oh, yeah, no, they're zombies.
Like, they are.
Army guys are like, yo, I'm here for the communications degree.
Yeah.
But they're like, I'm going to put my hand in a fire now. Personnel, the United States Coast Guard.
Wow,
Nice.
that's the weakest card.
The
we've gotten
weakest
so
card you
far.
could possibly get.
No, I mean, they kept America safe from Saddam. Name one successful attempt.
My
Saddam
grandfather-
crossed into our
My
territorial
grandfather,
waters.
and I thank him because this decision might have saved my life. My grandfather, World War II, volunteered for the Coast Guard. Smart. Like, what is the thing that's going to least likely to get me killed? And he spent the entire war just like patrolling like off the east coast of the U.S. Never encountered anything. Like, dropped a couple of depth charges when they thought there was a U-boat or one time. Otherwise, nothing. He wasn't fucking in D-Day. He wasn't in fucking Iwo Jima.
Guadalcanal.
Smart. Unlike my other grandfather, who was. He was in the Pacific, and he. Oh my God!
Yikes! That's a yikes for me.
So he never talked about it. He never talked about it.
Yeah,
my entire
understandably.
Life. And then one day, when I was like 7 or 8, like he was getting a little senile, and like I think a gear slipped, and he just started telling me his stories about the Pacific Theater for like an hour.
Whoa!
And it was hair raising.
Yeah, Jesus Christ!
It was horrifying. It was like guys getting like stabbed to death in rifle pits and shit. And I was like 8 years old.
That was your long path to becoming Joker-fied.
It's one of the many paths on the Joker-fication road. But yes, God bless.
Yeah, having your grandfather tell you about like Japanese soldiers cannibalizing each other.
Yeah. This is interesting, though. Part of the Treasury Department in wartime, it becomes an arm of the U.S. Navy. Guards convoys, performs rescue missions on the high seas, and patrols the U.S. coastline. A cucked but very low-key. Oh, God, we are really on the CIA tip. We're the deep state tip here, boys. Leader, George Herbert Walker Bush.
Charizard. That's Charizard.
This is
yeah.
a foil Charizard.
Yeah.
My deck is crushing right now.
That's one of the only cards that could beat James Baker, just head-to-head, one-on-one.
Yep. Because who takes orders from who?
You're right.
After graduating Phi Beta Kappa in 3 years from Yale University, genius, Bush became an oil executive and CIA agent in Texas. Not a joke. He was CIA director, but even before that, in the 60s, when he was an oil guy.
So wait. Hold on a second, Matt. You're telling me that people go out of Ivy League colleges to work for private firms while the entire time being CIA agents?
They do that. That happens a lot, actually. That's the most common pipeline.
And then they go into politics at a presidential level?
It's an incredibly common pipeline.
No, I mean, so like, wait, who's the guy who did that recently? I forget his name.
Mumbly Joe. I don't remember. Yeah, it would have been wild speculation to even suggest any of this.
No, I mean it's dangerous and irresponsible to suggest that such a thing is even possible, let alone has happened before in American history.
Frankly, laughable. He was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives in 1966 and was the U.S. representative to the United Nations in 1970, head liaison officer to China in 1974, director of the CIA in 1976. He was also chairman of the RNC at one point, and vice president in 1980 before becoming president in 1988.
Are they missing his stint in China?
No, they have it in there.
Oh, I missed it.
For Operation Desert Storm, he was leader of the coalition. That's right, boys, the winning team. And one more geography. Oh, our old friend Libya. Whatever happened to Libya?
Don't know. Well, it's nice that they made it green.
Yeah, exactly. Libya has 1%, only 1% arable land, but is blessed with oil. Oh, yeah, it's such a blessing. How many countries with oil could call it a blessing? Norway? That's about it.
Alberta, God's land.
Oh, yeah, they're doing great out there.
Well, I mean, once the Wexit movement succeeds, the movement I'm dedicating all my energy to.
I know you're a Wexit. You're like one of those Donbass guys for Wexit.
I'm more like someone who volunteers for the Kurds. I'm trying to be the brace of Wexit.
Yes, you're brace. Principal trading partners include Italy, Germany, and France. Libya has the reputation of being a supporter of radical Palestinian groups. Also, the IRA. Don't forget the IRA. And ETA, they were really, and FNL, and the FARC, they were really friends with everybody.
When I was in Belfast,
Japanese Red Army.
When I was in Belfast, and I took the black cab tour that you told me about, the guy who gave us the tour said that like the troubles in Northern Ireland really, really kicked off. Or, like they've been going on like in like riots and like fights with the police and like people like digging up the cobblestones of their streets to throw at the police and cops and shit. But it's when everyone started arming themselves, when the Catholics, Republicans started arming themselves.
Armalites.
And they did it because Gaddafi shipped like something like 5 tons of rifles and ammunition in like several shipping containers directly to Northern Ireland. And when that happened, it just all kicked off. That's when they started.
That was the gasoline on the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was it. They strapped him up. They sent it on the QE2. They sent it on a fucking a giant cruise ship, and that's where they got their Armalites from. So during the 1980s, relations with the United States were very hostile, I would say. They got bombed after being accused of blowing up a nightclub in Berlin. They also got the Lockerbie bombing pinned on them.
Even though we know for sure it was Hafez Assad.
It was definitely Assad. There's some other argument it might have been somebody else, but it definitely wasn't Gaddafi.
Well, it was basically the Syrian Secret Service was definitely involved in all of these bombings.
Yeah. And who knows, maybe Israel. Libya is a member of the United Nations and OPEC. It has not taken an active role in Operation Desert Storm.
That's unfortunate.
What the fuck, Libya? What the fuck, dude? I'm very disappointed in you. So I got to say, I got a pretty powerful deck here.
All right, Phil, let's just...
Looking at my deck now, just like Baker and Bush alone, those are like pretty hard to work against.
And the CIA, of course.
My first card, though it may not be powerful enough to fight both those men, it's definitely the most culturally iconic of any of the military assets. We're talking about the M998 Hummer.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. It would grace America's streets a mere decade later.
The Gulf War is what like introduced the Humvee, the Hummer, in American consciousness. And Schwarzenegger was the first private citizen of any celebrity of note to have the original, not the H2 consumer models. He actually had the military Humvee.
As a teen, as a late teen, early 20s boy, watching those things drive the American streets filled me with such Adbusters level rage.
I felt the exact same thing.
Me and you were, we had basically the same like lib mind at that point.
Yeah.
And I just hated the Hummers.
I hated them so fucking much.
Disgusting display of just this vile excess and this militarized culture. Oh, I hate it so much.
It made me go Adbusters Joker. All right, I did like getting the Hummer in the Serbian War mod for Operation Flashpoint 2 when I was a little bit older. That was cool, especially when you get to the mission where you rob a gas station. But anyway, the Hummer is a high-mobility, multi-purpose wheeled vehicle. Used for cargo or troop transport, it can be fitted with the TOW missile launcher system as an anti-tank vehicle. As a light attack vehicle, it carries the Mk-19 automatic grenade launcher and a 50 caliber machine gun or 7.62 gun with armor protection for its crew.
Interesting thing about the Hummer is that in the context of the Gulf War, very effective, like you said. Like they're quick, maneuverable, and can be outfitted with like either a 50 cal or like a rocket, like a technical for anti-armor stuff.
They got
it's
those
light,
grenade launchers
it's
too.
It's light, it's mobile. Like they can move people really fast over a long period of time. Very effective in the Gulf War. In the Iraq War, when it turned out that they became police cars, they were all fucking death traps.
There was a fucking tuna can.
That armor on it was just did absolutely nothing.
It was
a shape penetrating.
It was
charge.
like putting foil in the microwave.
Yeah,
took off.
Exactly. Yeah.
Those fucking things took off more dicks than a moil in fucking Midwood.
Oh,
it's just a fact. They shredded guys hard.
No, that was quote unquote the signature injury of the Iraq War was castration.
And then of course they were like, "Hey, we go to war with the army we have," as Rumsfeld said, and the GOP just let guys go there with underarmed things, and then all the troops thanked them for it.
Castration is
Literally.
the perfect injury for that war because that started the castration of the American Empire. But,
damn! Oh snap! That's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
Jeez, Felix comes in from the shitting of the doo-doo ass and just drops fucking.
It's
bombs.
true though. It is true. It's like it would be heavy-handed if it was in a book, but it's true.
It's true. Yeah.
Military skill, first aid.
That's good.
Several years after the issuing of this card, if you see Pat Tillman down in Afghanistan, you are ordered by the White House not to administer this. First aid is emergency care given to the sick, injured, or wounded before medical personnel arrive. Many lives are saved by the quick, effective actions of people trained in first aid. The two basic concepts of emergency measures are stop the bleeding, start the breathing. In addition, it is imperative.
Oh, I did it the other way around. Fuck.
In addition, it is imperative to prevent shock and dress any wounds to avoid infection. All military personnel are schooled in first aid. Civilians can learn about first aid by first aid classes by contacting their local Red Cross or hospital. So
that's good.
I don't really think this is as good of an ability as like respect or discipline.
Doing that.
Those have honestly
45-degree angle, baby.
Yeah, those have saved more lives.
Honor, loyalty.
We'll take
like
it.
Yeah.
And we have, like, so far, like, it's not looking good, guys. We don't have any Bushes or Bakers.
Or candlestick makers.
All right. Personnel, military police.
Oh, the fucking narcs of the army.
Yeah.
Army narcs.
This is. I gotta really shit.
You gotta shit. This is the most
really
soy ass, beta ass.
Really whack.
If this was a booster draft, you would be totally screwed.
Washed. Whether it's the Shore Patrol in the U.S. Navy, the Air Police.
I am the motherfucking Shore Patrol,
Last
motherfucker.
Detail, great movie.
The Air Police in the U.S. Air Force and the Military Police in the U.S. Army each has jurisdiction to enforce the Uniform Code of Regulations on all personnel. Off military reservations, civilian jurisdiction takes precedence, but major crimes committed on military reservations are investigated by the military police, the Judge Advocate's Office, and the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
Let's not forget NCIS, also NCIS New Orleans, NCIS Austin, I think.
NCIS Tacoma.
Yeah.
Oh, God, this is the fucking leader I get.
What do you got? Okay, who you got?
What cuck-ass loser do you have?
I have Mikhail Gorbachev.
Oh, cuck of cucks!
Oh, wow.
Whatever do you mean, comrade?
Wow.
This is the
If I had any balls, I would be shipping scuds and fucking MiGs to fucking Saddam. I would be telling him, hold out, brother. I would be threatening to nuke them.
This is the weakest fucking deck of all time.
Gorbachev.
This is the cuck deck. This is the cuck deck. It's like military police,
First aid,
Gorbachev,
saving
first aid.
lives.
And
the Hummer, not even anything with a gun on it.
All your decks are like, here's how to transport 35 fucking fighter jets at the same time. Here's George W. Bush. Here's the entire deep state. Here's fucking Iran-Contra.
Here's a fucking multiple rocket launcher.
Mine is like personnel, CNN camera crew. This shit fucking sucks.
Personal asset, Peter Arnett.
All right.
So I got Scoop Jackson. Gorbachev, who is known for his innovative improvements and new ideas.
Oh, yeah, that was definitely an improvement.
Became the youngest member of the Politburo in 1980 and General Secretary of the Communist Party in 1985. He instituted the policies of glasnost and perestroika and was awarded the Nobel Prize for Peace in 1990. During Operation Desert Storm, he tried to negotiate Iraq's withdrawal from Kuwait. Cock.
Wow.
Cock.
You got to have one fire card in here.
I don't know if he does, man. This is pretty weird.
Hell yeah, dude. Geography, Iceland. Let's go.
Oh, my God.
Iceland.
We sent handkerchief.
I thought Denmark was fucking
Shit.
weak. Jesus.
Sucks, dude. Lying in the North Atlantic, Iceland is located on islands built by recent volcanic activity.
Yes.
The Icelandic Parliament, the All-Thing, or how I'm sure,
the All-Father.
I don't. Yeah.
The All-Spark.
Whatever the fuck you say, who cares? There's like 100,000.
It's the oldest
There's like 20
assembly.
people in that country.
It's the oldest democratic assembly in the world.
Just like get a different language. I don't care. Is the oldest surviving government of this type in the world, dating from about 930.
Yeah, they have the longest tradition.
We really got to
in
do a
Europe.
show in Iceland.
That would be
like
amazing. They have the
flight.
longest tradition of democracy in Europe.
Yeah, as soon as the plague ends.
And when the plague ends, we're going to Iceland.
Since Iceland was neutral during
Probably
World
moving
War
there
II,
permanently.
It was not allowed to join the United Nations until 1946. For Operation Desert Storm, Iceland supplied economic support. Nice, dude. Thank
What,
you.
like some fucking
pickled herring? What?
Here's some pemmican.
Bjork wasn't even a thing yet.
Yeah,
like that was
yeah,
the
what
best
the
thing they
fuck?
could have given.
Yeah.
Was
It's
Bjork
like the
records.
United States needed economic assistance from Iceland to wash Saddam Hussein's military.
Yeah, yo, we're like kind of low on cash right now.
Yo, could you let me hold something?
Just hook me up with some fermented shark.
Just let me hold something. Let me hold something. Let me just give some walking around money.
They literally only have fish. There's no agriculture on the fucking rock. It's an empty rock. There's no trees.
Nothing grows.
It's a fucking lunar landscape. They have fish and that's it.
They do have tiny ponies.
And tiny ponies.
Yeah, those are not native. They're tiny because like the island's too small to support regular sized ponies. And those are not native to Iceland.
This is the most cuckold.
This is the most cuckold.
Okay, what's the last card?
I've
got more.
Okay.
But peace.
Oh my God! Peace? Peace? Drake? Drake?
I'm so fucking done, dude. I'm so fucking done with this game. I'm so fucking done. You got fucking James Baker.
Drake?
Fucking James Baker. You got the CIA and George W. Bush.
I got the
trigger and the gun.
I got the military cargo plane and like the Falcon.
Rocket launcher.
I had the Falcon.
Katyushkas.
This is so fucking bullshit.
Read what it says for peace.
Let us strive on to finish the work we are in, to bind up the nation's wounds, to care for him who shall have borne the battle,
Oh
and
my
for
God.
his widow and his orphan, to do all which may achieve and cherish
Is this
a just and lasting peace among ourselves and with all nations. Second inaugural address, March 4th, 1865, Abraham Lincoln.
Cock. Hey, you know this war that's so cool that we made fucking trading cards out of it?
Yeah.
What about the opposite of that? Boring ass peace.
I have 4 cards left.
Okay.
All right, this is the first like non-cuck card. Military asset fighting ship.
Okay. I mean,
Newport
Navy is a pretty cucked part of the military.
No,
of
it's
course.
not. They're cool. It's where guys go.
Wait,
to
which
become
fighting
dudes.
ship though? Fighting ship is a subcategory.
Oh, okay.
What kind is it?
Newport class tank landing ship.
It's not bad.
Ah, no, it's a landing ship. It doesn't even shoot anything.
I had the ammunition supply chain ship. That's not. That's
Yeah,
not
I had the
okay.
rocket launcher. That's 'cause I'm alpha.
Larger and faster than classic LST workhorses of World War II amphibious landings. LSTs of the Newport class. See, Newport's a cool type of cigarette. Like those are kind of fucking.
The
bad.
This
coolest
is another
kind of cigarette.
unarmed fucking vehicle. Yeah. This is another cuck-ass vehicle.
It has 450 caliber guns and 1 phalanx CIWS.
So yeah, it's not unarmed.
Ooh, wow, cool.
All right. Well, nah, I could do something with it if I had it. Are the first to depart from the drop-out door and use a 112-foot ramp to land tanks and cargo vehicles onto beaches. A gate at the stern enables offloading amphibious vehicles into the water. The Newport LST-1179 and the Fairfax County LST-1193, both out of Norfolk, Virginia, were part of Operation Desert Storm.
You know, it's kind of gay to put like one vehicle inside your vehicle like that. That's kind of gay, yo.
That's just guys becoming dudes.
Yeah, that's kind of gay, yo.
All right. Intelligent file. Chemical biological warfare.
Okay, that's not bad.
All right, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, remember that. People are very scared of that.
This deck's sort of coming alive.
Okay.
All right, chemical and biological weapons are frightening, but overrated threats to military personnel.
Never mind. It's not even a big deal.
Many factors, including wind, humidity, temperature, have a large impact on the effectiveness of these weapons.
You know what's funny about that? About this card? Is they're like, yeah, they may be scary, but they're not actually that big a threat in the Gulf War
syndrome.
This is the Gulf War deck.
Yeah,
and then they had to rewrite the script for the Iraq War.
These are weapons of mass destruction.
These chemical, biological weapons are the most terrifying things in the world.
This could kill everyone on Earth.
Yeah.
It's not like basically like mustard gas from World War I.
The training and equipment of today's fighting forces further reduce the threat of chemical and biological agents. National policy completely prohibits the use of biological weapons by U.S. forces and prohibits the use of chemical weapons unless they are used first by an opponent. And hey,
so that's also cuck because it's literally saying this is not even effective and bad.
Oh my God! Holy fuck!
What?
Holy
Redemption?
fuck!
Redemption?
Yes!
Redemption
Oh my
card?
God! Geography, United Kingdom.
Yeah!
No, the ultimate cucks.
No.
This isn't even more cuck deck than I thought possible.
No, this is a LaRouche. This is a LaRouche deck. I got the only thing that's over Bush and over Baker and over the CIA.
The world's
Let's
biggest
fucking
drug
go.
dealer.
Yes, world's biggest drug dealer. Most land in the world. Biggest, yes. Queen of England, the chief reptilian.
Fuck
you.
I recognize that. They're poodles.
No,
the UK are poodles. They're the most cucked of all.
LaRouche.
This is the most cucked card
this
yet.
is Lyndon LaRouche Universe deck. I win. I win.
This is the most cucked card yet.
Bush and Baker bow down.
Wrong. Nope.
Yeah, bow fucking down
yet.
to MI5 and MI6.
Most cucked card yet.
United Kingdom, with the signing of the Magna Carta in 1215, England paved the way for modern democracies to exist. During the 19th century, the United Kingdom, as the most powerful kingdom, had so many territories scattered throughout the world that the sun did not set on the British Empire. The United Kingdom has a permanent seat on the UN Security Council and supplied more than 50,000 troops and 1,000 reptilians and materiel for Operation Desert Storm. No, fucking the most important.
I'm afraid not. I'm going to have to get a ruling on this from the judge.
This is on the LaRouche. Look at the back of the box. It says LaRouche rules.
I don't think so. What's the last
I win
card?
in LaRouche. Hell, yes, you're fucking done, pussy. Geography, Saudi Arabia.
Oh, that's good.
Get fucked.
That's a good
Get
one.
absolutely
All right, that's
fucked.
pretty good. I gotta say.
That's
Mecca, the birthplace of Muhammad, Medina, where he died, are holy cities in Saudi Arabia.
Good thing we stationed all those troops
We're
there.
going to station troops here until the people get really pissed.
The Saudis own 1/3 of the world's known oil reserves.
Thank God for that.
Oil was discovered here in 1936.
What a dumb trick of the universe making that happen.
Awful.
King Fahd has a reputation for being moderately pro-Western. Okay.
Let's ask Muhammad Atta about that.
Fearing they might be destabilized by followers of Ayatollah Khomeini, the Saudis supported Iraq in its 8-year war with Iran. A large number of coalition forces were stationed in Saudi Arabia during Operation Desert Storm.
How'd that turn out?
You know, things have gone better, things have gone worse.
Were mistakes made?
So
yes.
I think like operating under the LaRouche rule set, I am the clear winner.
I have the Alpha deck. I got the CIA.
You have
I got the deep
you have
state.
a strong deck.
I got George H.W.
But it's like who you know you were like to Will, like who takes orders? Who does James Baker take orders from?
Yeah, but I'm not acknowledging LaRouche.
Everyone takes orders from the Queen of England, Matt.
No, it's the Queen of England. She's the head reptile. You lost.
You cannot have red pill Epstein brain and not know that the Queen of England controls everything.
She's the biggest drug dealer in the world, Matt.
Think of the chessboard. Who has all the moves? It's the Queen.
Oh, we eclipsed
the Queen.
Them. The U.S. eclipsed the UK.
They want you to.
No, the Revolutionary War was a false flag to just make sure the royal family still controls everything.
She's the biggest drug dealer in the world.
Outnumbered by LaRouches.
Welcome to the real world. We're out there. We exist. And, you know, just closing the stream out, we will be supporting Lyndon LaRouche's
third-party candidacy.
He didn't really die.
The grave.
What do you say? Should we close it? Should I
have a few announcements. I mean, I'm sure you're going to
actually. I was going to close by reading the first few pages of Moby Dick. I did bring it with me.
Let me do a few business things.
Okay, yeah.
Everybody should stick around for after this. We're going to send off straight to the FYM boys. We're going to keep the live streaming going on this channel. There's going to be more entertainment for the rest of the evening. I also want to say if anybody's switching back and forth between us and Hassan on Twitch, please, deepest sympathies to Hassan for losing his precious dog, Fish.
Oh, no. Wait, what?
Yeah, in the last...
Oh, wait, Hassan lost... Fishes passed away?
Yeah, Fish passed away.
What happened?
I think like sudden diagnosed cancer.
Yeah.
So please, if anybody's posting in that chat as well, give him our deepest sympathies. And solidarity for Hassan and streamers in general in our trying times. But yeah, stick around after this because we're gonna go straight into FYM after this. But we're gonna do a little Moby Dick first.
That's it. Okay, it's short. It's only a couple pages. I'm going to read chapter 1 of Moby Dick, probably the most famous first chapter in all of literature.
The Bible much? Boom, roasted.
Well, this book is very biblical, so. Boom, you're roasted. And I hopefully, from my own apartment, I will be clocking in with readings. I think I'm going to do, like, just short stories because, like, novels are too hard to do. Like, this is sort of like, this is the Will Menaker audiobook. This is the official non-Chapo Trap House podcast reading series where I'm actually reading good books. I think I'm going to do H.P. Lovecraft. I have to read this. I was going to do Rats on the Walls, but then I was rereading it myself, and I realized it is the story that names the cat. So I won't be doing that on the stream. But something about Melville just begs to be read out loud. So this is chapter 1 of Moby Dick, Loomings. Call me Ishmael. Some years ago, never mind how long precisely, having little or no money in my purse and nothing particular to interest me on shore, I thought I would sail about a little and see the watery part of the world. It is a way I have of driving off the spleen and regulating the circulation. Whenever I find myself growing grim about the mouth, whenever it is a damp, drizzly November in my soul, whenever I find myself involuntarily pausing before coffin warehouses and bringing up the rear of every funeral I meet, and especially whenever my hypos get such an upper hand of me that it requires a strong moral principle to prevent me from deliberately stepping into the street and methodically knocking people's hats off, then I account it high time to get to sea as soon as I can. This is my substitute for pistol and ball. With a philosophical flourish, Cato throws himself upon his sword. I quietly take to the ship. There is nothing surprising in this. If they but knew it, almost all men in their degree, some time or other, cherish very nearly the same feelings towards the ocean with me. There now is your insular city of the Manhattoes, belted around by wharves as Indian Isles coral reefs. Commerce surrounds it with her surf. Right and left, the streets take you waterward. Its extreme downtown is the Battery, where that noble mole is washed by waves and cooled by breezes, which few hours previous were out of sight of land. Look at the crowds of water gazers there. Circumambulate the city of a dreamy Sabbath afternoon. Go from Coralier's Hook to Conti's ship, and from thence by Whitehall northward. And what do you see? Posted like silent sentinels are all around the town, stand thousands upon thousands of mortal men fixed in ocean reveries, some leaning against the spiles, some seated upon the pierheads, some looking over the bulwarks of ships from China, some high aloft in the rigging as if striving to get a still better seaward peep. But these are all landsmen, of weak days pent up in lath and plaster, tied to counters, nailed to benches, clinched to desks. How then is this? Are the green fields gone? What do they hear? But look, here come more crowds, pacing straight for the water and seemingly bound for a dive. Strange! Nothing will content them but the extremest limit of land, loitering under the shady lee of yonder warehouses will not suffice. No, they must get just as nigh the water as they possibly can without falling in. And there they stand, miles of them, leagues, inlanders all. They come from lanes and alleys, streets and avenues, north, east, south, and west. Yet here they all unite. Tell me, does the magnetic virtue of the needles of compasses of all those ships attract them thither? Once more, say you are in the country, in some high land of lakes. Take almost any path you please, and 10 to 1 it carries you down in a dale and leaves you there by a pool in the stream. There is magic in it. Let the most absent-minded of men be plunged in his deepest reveries. Stand that man on his legs, set his feet a-going, and he will infallibly lead you to water, if water there be in all that region. Should you ever be athirst in the great American desert, try this experiment. If your caravan happen to be supplied with a metaphysical professor, yes, as everyone knows, meditation and water are wedded forever. But here is an artist. He desires to paint you the dreamiest, shadiest, quietest, most enchanting bit of romantic landscape in all the valley of Saco. What is the chief element he employs? There stand his trees, each with a hollow trunk, as if a hermit and a crucifix were within. And here sleeps his meadow, and there sleep his cattle. And up from yonder cottages goes a sleepy smoke. Deep into distant woodlands winds a mazy way, reaching to the overlapping spurs of mountains bathed in their hillside blue. But through the picture lies thus tranced, and through this pine tree shakes down its sights like leaves upon the shepherd's head. Yet all were vain unless the shepherd's eye were fixed upon the magic stream before him. Go visit the prairies in June, when for scores of miles you wade knee-deep among tiger lilies. What is the one charm wanting? Water. There is not a drop of water there. Were Niagara but a cataract of sand, you would travel your Were Niagara but a cataract of sand, would you travel your thousands of miles to see it? Why did the poor poet of Tennessee, upon suddenly receiving 2 handfuls of silver,
2000.
deliberate whether to buy him a coat, which he sadly needed, or invest his money in a pedestrian trip to Rockaway Beach? Why is almost every robust, healthy boy with a robust, healthy soul in him at some time or other crazy to go to sea? Why, upon your first voyage as a passenger, did you yourself feel such a mystical vibration when first told you that you were and your ship were now out of sight of land? Why did the old Persians hold the sea holy? Why did the Greeks give it a separate deity and his own brother of Jove? Surely all this is not without meaning, and still deeper the meaning of that story of Narcissus, who because he could not grasp the tormenting mild image he saw in the fountain, plunged into it and was drowned. But that same image we ourselves see in all rivers and ocean is the image of the ungraspable phantom of life, and this is the key to it all. Now, when I say I'm in the habit of going to sea whenever I begin to grow hazy about the eyes and begin to be overconscious of my lungs, I do not mean to have it inferred that I ever go to sea as a passenger. For to go as a passenger, you must needs have purse, and a purse is but a rag unless you have something in it. Besides, passengers get seasick, grow quarrelsome, don't sleep of nights, do not enjoy themselves much. As a general thing, no. I never go as a passenger, nor, though I am of something of a salt, do I ever go to sea as a commodore, or a captain, or a cook. I abandon the glory and distinction of such offices to those who like them. For my part, I abominate all honorable, respectable toils, trials, and tribulations of every kind whatsoever. It is quite as much as I can do to take care of myself without taking care of ships, barks, brigs, schooners, and whatnot. And as for going as cook, though I confess there is considerable glory in that, a cook being a sort of officer on shipboard, yet somehow I never fancied broiling fowls. Though once broiled, judiciously buttered, and judgmatically salted and peppered, there is no one who will speak more respectfully, not to say reverentially, of a broiled fowl than I will. It is out of the idolatrous dotings of the old Egyptians upon broiled ibis and roasted river horse that you see the mummies of those creatures in their huge bakehouses, the pyramids. No, when I go to sea, I go as a simple sailor, right before the mast, plumb down to the forecastle, aloft there to the royal masthead. True, they rather order me about, and some make me jump from spar to spar like a grasshopper in a May meadow. And at first, this sort of thing is unpleasant enough. It touches one's sense of honor, particularly if you come of an old established family in the land. The Van Rensselaers or Randolphs or Hardicanutes. And more than all, if just previous to putting your hand into the tar pot, you have been lording it as a country schoolmaster, making the tallest boys stand in awe of you. The transition is a keen one, I assure you, from a schoolmaster to a sailor, and requires a strong decoction of Seneca and the Stoics to enable you to grin and bear it. But even this wears off in time. What of it if some old hunks of sea captain orders me to get a broom and sweep down the decks? What does that indignity amount to, weighed, I mean, in the scales of the New Testament? Do you think the Archangel Gabriel thinks anything the less of me because I promptly and respectfully obey that old hunks in that particular instance? Who ain't a slave? Tell me that. Well then, however the old sea captains may order me about, however they may thump and punch me about, I have the satisfaction of knowing that it is all right, and everybody else is one way or another served in much the same way, either in a physical or metaphysical point of view, that is, and so the universal thump is passed round, and all hands should rub each other's shoulder blades and be content. And again, I always go to sea as a sailor because they make a point of paying me for my trouble, whereas they never pay passengers a single penny that I ever heard of. On the contrary, passengers themselves must pay. And there is all the difference in the world between paying and being paid. The act of paying is perhaps the most uncomfortable infliction that the two orchard thieves entailed upon us. But being paid, what will compare with it? The urbane activity with which a man receives money is really marvelous, considering that we so earnestly believe money to be the root of all earthly ills, and that on no account can a moneyed man enter heaven. Ah, how cheerfully we consign ourselves to perdition. Finally, I always go to sea as a sailor because of the wholesome exercise and pure air of the forecastle deck. For, as in this world, headwinds are far more prevalent than winds from astern. That is, if you never violate the Pythagorean maxim. So, for the most part, the Commodore on the quarterdeck gets his atmosphere at second hand from the sailors on the forecastle. He thinks he breathes it first, but not so. In much the same way do the commonalty lead their leaders in many other things, at the same time that the leaders little suspect it. But wherefore it was that after having repeatedly smelt the sea as a merchant sailor, I should now take it into my head to go on a whaling voyage. This, the invisible police officer of the fates, who has the constant surveillance of me and secretly dogs me and influences me in some unaccountable way, he can better answer than anyone else. And doubtless, my going on this whaling voyage formed a part of the grand program of Providence that was drawn upon a long time ago. It came in as a sort of brief interlude and solo between more extensive performances. I take it that this part of the bill must have run something like this. Grand contested election for the presidency of the United States. Whaling voyage by one Ishmael. Bloody battle in Afghanistan. Though I cannot tell why it is exactly that those stage managers, the fates, put me down for this shabby part of a whaling voyage when others were set down for magnificent parts in high tragedies, and short and easy parts in genteel comedies, and jolly parts in farces. Though I cannot tell why this was exactly, yet, now that I recalled all the circumstances, I think I can see a little into the springs and motives which being cunningly presented to me under various disguises, induced me to set about performing the part I did, besides cajoling me into the delusion that it was a choice resulting from my own unbiased free will and discriminating judgment. Chief among these motives was the overwhelming idea of the great whale himself. Such a portentous and mysterious monster roused all my curiosity. Then the wild and distant seas where he rolled his island bulk, the undeliverable nameless perils of the whale, these, with all the attending marvels of 1,000 Patagonian sights and sounds, helped to sway me to my wish. With other men, perhaps, such things would not have been inducements, but for me, I am tormented with an everlasting itch for things remote. I love to sail forbidden seas and land on barbarous coasts. Not ignoring what is good, I am quick to perceive a horror, and could still be social with it, would they let me, since it is all but well to be friendly on terms with all the inmates of the places one lodges in. By reason of these things, then, the whaling voyage is welcome. The great floodgates of the wonder world swung open. And in the wild conceits that swayed me to my purpose, two and two there floated into my inmost soul endless processions of the whale, and midmost of them all, one grand hooded phantom, like a snow hill in the air. Moby Dick, Chapter 1, Loomings. That's some good reading, boys.
More like
chewing. That's some good reading,
boys. Get out there
boys.
And you smoke that bowl and you read that book, and it'll blow your mind.
That's some good readings, boys. I think just everything there in that chapter says everything you need to know about the illusion of free will and like the sort of the drive to sort of self negation and destruction inherent in all men.
Yeah, great shit. That was dope. By the way, Mom's basement is back now.
Oh, Mom.
Oh yeah, Mom's basement is back now.
Polls.
Well, we have Uncle's houseboat here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told our friend Alex McCarran, who helped design this whole thing, that the aesthetic that we were going for was explicitly Chapo, but make it Mom's basement.
And the thing is like, you know, all those fake New York people, like those fake Brooklyn bitches, like that's just not me.
Bro, the first thing you go when you go to like New York fucking media happy hour is like, who's got clout? And it's like, bro, I don't even fucking care about that shit.
Like McElway comes up and he's like, abolish ICE. And I'm like, dude, this is not me.
It's not him either.
It's not him either, yes.
All right, so
He's
I think
full of shit.
I think I'm obviously FaZe Banks. Matt might be Keemstar.
Okay.
Does that make Will Lil Xan?
He might be Lil Xan, yeah.
Okay.
I don't really know anything about Keemstar.
He's the worst one.
Fantastic.
He's a journalist.
Oh, great.
Actually, I think Adam 22 is probably the worst one.
Possibly.
I'm probably him, honestly. not for the reasons you're thinking.
Is Virgil?
Virgil is.
He's Lil Xan.
Yeah, I was gonna say Virgil's Lil Xan.
Yeah.
I can see him standing right
and
next
then
to
Amber's the dude they come on to play acoustic guitar. Wait, what are you looking at? What are you laughing at, Felix?
Fuck.
What are you laughing at?
Norm McDonald, my sister, texted me that Norm McDonald said that he eats Impossible bats. Shit.
Oh my god.
That's a good what an absolute king. What
that's
a fucking king.
That's a good gag to end it on.
All right.
Yeah.
Everyone stay tuned for the FYM boys.
Yeah. Bye-bye, guys.
Stay
See you
rolling
soon.
on. Yeah, this was fun.
We're gonna be streaming soon, and I'm gonna try to game soon.
Yeah, this is fun. We'll hope to be back with you guys soon.
All right.
Cheers, everybody.
Thanks everybody for
We're gonna do this a lot.
sticking around. This is great.